On with the show, ladies and gentlemen. It is Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. I am Rick Kamla. Lower left, it is A.M. Pfeffer, author, anchorman, businessman, out in our LA studios where we will all be very, very soon. We got a Super Bowl watch party coming up. And we have Dwight Walton in the lower right corner here, in basketball legend, TSN correspondent, and our resident LeBron James advocate, as he likes to say. So we're ready to have a great time. We have an extraordinary guest that we're all very excited about. The great Kevin Willis, one of the best power forwards of all time, will join the show at 3 p.m. Eastern. Dr. X, Phil McDonald, he will be falling in at some point. Brandon Armstrong, a.k.a. Beat Out, we expect to see him as well. So, fellas, let's get into the Giannis news, man, and let's dive right in and get our hands a little bit dirty here because, you know, every show we talk about Giannis, we keep getting new developments. But Shams reported, and the question is here, I want you guys to pick one team, all right? And I'm going to lay this out, and we'll bring up the teams that Shams is mentioning and all that. Pick one team that you want him to go to, that you think he should go to, but that's the game here. Pick one, Giannis's new team. So Shams reports he's ready for a new home ahead of the deadline. Several teams are making aggressive offers to the Bucks, who are starting to listen. Sources say Antetokounmpo informed the Bucks for months that he believes that his time with them has come to an end after 12 years together. Shams reports that the Bucks want blue chip young talent and/or a surplus of draft picks for Giannis. Multiple teams have received the sense that the Bucks are more open to moving him than ever. And Shams mentions the Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the New York Knicks, and the Golden State Warriors, the usual suspects. Among the serious suitors for Antetokounmpo, there are two other teams that have been more loosely linked, the Atlanta Hawks and the OKC Thunder. Dwight Walton, I go to you first, man. Pick one, Giannis' new team, go.
Listen, we've heard all the rumors, all the teams. To me, if I'm listening to the tea leaves on what I've heard being reported, the Bucks want a young player to build around, and they want a treasure chest of draft capital. To me, if you just exclude the San Antonio Spurs, there are two teams that can fulfill the goals for the Milwaukee Bucks: the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets. Now, are those two unrealistic destinations because of what the Bucks will want in return and how we as fans and the media feel about the Thunder and the Rockets currently? Obviously, going the other way, if it's the Rockets, it's going to have to be, in my opinion, Alperen Sengun and the draft capital that the Rockets currently have. If it's the Thunder, it's going to be one of Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren and the treasure chest of draft capital that the Oklahoma City Thunder have. Now, I know that people out there are probably going to think I'm crazy. Why would you want to break up a team that just won the championship last year? All I'm saying is I'm answering what I'm hearing from what John Horst and the Milwaukee Bucks organization wants. I'm already on record as saying that the Knicks have to give Mike Brown and this roster a chance to go as far as they can. And if they fail, then you can go all in for Antetokounmpo during the offseason. That's the Knicks. Now, there's Golden State. There's Miami. There's Atlanta. Minnesota is also in the picture. These are teams that are probably in win now mode. So I'm sure they're trying to desperately make a deal at the deadline so they can increase their chances of winning a championship. But again, I may be beating around the bush here, but if I'm listening to what the Bucks want, they want a young star to be able to build around and a treasure chest of draft capital. And to me, excluding the San Antonio Spurs, the two teams are the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just listening to what the Bucks want in return.
So give me a kind of a brief answer on this. So what team are you picking?
What team am I picking?
Yeah, what team?
Because I like where the Thunder are right now, I wouldn't mind seeing the Houston Rockets go all in and go for Antetokounmpo and see what they can do in this year's playoffs.
The Rockets. Okay. All right. So Dwight wants Houston to do another bundle trade. They already did one to get Kevin Durant, and he wants them to do it again here with Giannis. AM Pfeffer, no timer, my man. As long as you want here, pick one team for Giannis, assuming he's traded before this deadline.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. And I appreciate the fact that there's no timer. I got a lot to say. I've given this a lot of thought in the past couple of days, and I don't want to just sit here and run my mouth. I want to make sure both of you are included in this conversation. I want to go back and forth. There's a lot to cover here. I want to start with this. At this point, I'm so tired of hearing about Giannis himself. I'm so tired of Shams Charania and his quote-unquote Woj bombs. It's not about that any longer. Okay, you know what, Rick? I want to give you my short answer. Just get to the point. It's the Warriors, but the reason I want him to see on the Warriors is not because I want to see Giannis go to the Warriors and team up with Steph and possibly LeBron, although that's cool. I want to see the Bucks get back from the team out there that makes the most sense for them. That is where I want this conversation to go. And they're going to get good draft capital from the Warriors, and more than likely on an aging team within a couple of years, that draft capital will mean something. That's what's important to the Bucks. That is the conversation that I want to have, and I want to bring it back to this, and let's get you guys in the conversation, okay? Do you guys know how many players currently in the NBA are on a wave and stretch? Let's start there.
Is it only Lillard?
It's not. There are a few more. Dwight, any guesses?
Really? The only one I knew of was Lillard. That's the only one I knew of.
Let me break it down for you guys. 4 players are on a wave and stretch in the NBA right now. I'm going to butcher his name, but it's Vasilije Micic. Either of you guys know if I'm saying that right?
Is he the guy that Bobby Portis punched to the EuroLeague? Are you talking about Vasi Micic?
Yes, thank you, Vasi Micic. Yes, it exactly. Bobby Portis punched to the EuroLeague. By the way, you know who stretched him? The Bucks. He's costing the Bucks.
Wait a second. Are we talking about Micic or Milicic?
Micic.
Okay, so that's not the guy that Portis punched to the EuroLeague. Okay,
no,
right. Milicic.
No,
that's Milicic.
Milicic is who the fight was. Okay, so it's Micic. He's costing them $667,000 a year until 2028. That's the Bucks. Okay. Next, Cole Anthony. He's costing the Grizzlies $3.7 million until 2028. We know Dame Lillard on the Bucks. This is where it gets super interesting. This is why I'm bringing this up right now. Okay. We know Dame Lillard is costing $22.5 million a year through 2030. That's what he's costing the Bucks. That is a huge dent. But we're missing a huge name. The fourth guy. You ready for this? Bradley Beal was waived and stretched, guys, in July of 2025 on the Suns.
That's true.
We all forget that. Okay? He's costing the Suns $19.3 million to 2030. Dame Lillard is 22.5 until 2030. And Beal's costing the Suns 19.3. Not a huge difference all the way through 2030. What is the big difference on a team? Because I love bringing up the Suns, and let's bring you guys back into this conversation, right? There's a lot of similarities between the Suns and the Bucks, especially how bereft they are of draft picks after trying to bring a championship nucleus to the squad when they brought KD, when they brought Beal to pair with Booker, right? You guys agree with this?
Yes.
Yeah. But what's different now is that the Suns actually have Devin Booker, a 29-year-old perennial all-star, whether you want to put him on this year's team or not. I mean, he has the numbers to be an all-star, okay? The Bucks, outside of Giannis, do not. Let's talk about the trade that the Suns made when they got rid of KD, right? So they stretched Beal. They had another asset in KD where the Bucks only have Giannis as an asset, right? Do you guys remember the trade? Any off the top of your head, do you remember the KD trade?
Which one?
The one from KD to the Rockets.
You had Brooks, you had
Dil-
Green, you had Maluach in that trade. What else?
Correct.
Right.
That's it.
So let's break it down. It took 7 teams, right? It took 7 teams to get Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the draft rights to Maluach, Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Brea, and a 2026 second-round pick back to the Suns. There was also another deal Phoenix made at the exact same time to get themselves back in contention. What was that trade? You guys remember?
The Beal deal. No?
It was not the Beal deal. That was just a wave and stretch. Who's their center that's actually playing good minutes for them?
Mark
Williams.
Williams.
Okay.
Mark Williams.
Pried him out of the Hornets after, by the way, you know who is in that trade? The aforementioned Micic. The wave and stretch from the Bucks was in that trade, okay? And the draft rights to Liam McNeely and a 2029 first-round pick. So the Suns gave up on that. But the Suns are anywhere between 4 to 8 in the West and will remain there most likely unless Golden State somehow goes on the run. They go and get Giannis, right? Because everybody else below that on the threshold is not in the conversation. The Suns are going to end up somewhere all the way up to 4 and potentially down to 8, but that's still in the mix, and this is a playoff team. They did a great job. They got the exciting young coach. They did something spectacular in keeping themselves relevant after all the terrible decisions that Ishbia made when he first came in, right? Do we agree on this?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the Bucks for a second and what they've got in the cupboard. Because, again, you keep hearing me say this week in and week out going back to this. I care only that the Bucks get back something for their one asset in Giannis. That's why I said the Warriors, okay? Kevin Porter and Ryan Rollins are the only 2 players on that team averaging over 30 minutes a game this year. Is that absurd?
Yes.
Yes. Those guys are 2 journeymen who were never meant to be anything other than mid-level exception guys supposed to be part of the rotation, right? Your nucleus is actually Bobby Portis, Miles Turner, and AJ Green. Why is that your nucleus? Because they're the only guys who are actually making real money to 2028 or beyond. And actually, AJ Green and Turner are the only guys who actually are making money beyond that. Portis has a player option in 2028, which he's more than likely going to take because it's $15 million. Everybody else below you is in the $5 to $6 million range on that team, except for one guy, Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma actually becomes your second asset next year, right? He's on the books next year in the last part of his deal for $20.3 million. He's giving you nothing this year. He has no future on this team. But next year, he becomes an asset as an expiring contract. And more than likely, you're going to do some other big trade for him as part of some other 5-team package that needs to get him, needs his expiring contract as part of whatever deal gets made next year between December 15th and February 5th. You've got Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kyle Kuzma as your 2 assets. It's not even close how, in comparison, they are in assets, but they are effectively assets over the next 2 years. Other than that, again, Bobby Portis, Miles Turner, AJ Green, Ryan Rollins, who doesn't figure into long-term plans, and Kevin Porter, who doesn't figure into your long-term plans. You have no draft picks. You're paying Dame Lillard $22.5 million a year. You don't have Devin Booker. You don't have the means to take back anybody of real, someone necessary as a young player to pair next to Miles Turner, right? Do we? Because, Rick, you brought it up when you said what Shams Charania said. And or draft picks or a young player. Are they going to get both? Probably not. But they could if they do it with the Warriors. That's Kuminga, right? You're going to take Draymond off their hands and then cut him and buy him out and then maybe send him back to Golden State. We've talked about that before. Kuminga's unhappy there. He wants out. And he's somebody at least you could pair and start to build off of, and he's not going to cost you an arm and a leg as you have to pay $22.5 million to Lillard for the next 5 years. Guys, the Bucks need to think about what the future is realistically. They have to bring it down to 0 so they can actually see the smoke through the trees as to what they really have and who's out there after the fact. But they have to leverage Giannis into as many draft picks as possible, and they need relevant draft picks. Houston isn't giving that to them. If they take all the draft picks from Oklahoma City, they're not giving it to them. Those draft picks over the next 4 years are going to be in the 20s or below. Golden State, this could all blow up in their face. They could be high draft picks. That's my answer. Thank you for allowing me all of that. I'd love a response to it.
I mean, dude, your money breakdowns are phenomenal, dude. And by the way, two super quick things, Dwight. It's so I was wrong twice. It wasn't Micic, it wasn't Milicic, it was Nikola Mirotic. Okay, and like as you were talking, I'm like, I know I'm screwing this up. So it was an 0-2 count, and it was a killer, out pitched by the pitcher, but I just served it into right field, and I'm on first base right now, so I did not strike out. Niko Mirotic. And you were talking about John Horst and draft picks. I just got to bang on John Horst for a minute. Guys, he is a horrible drafter. Okay? Horrible. John Horrible. Okay? Let's just put horrible in the middle of Horst. All right? Listen to these draft picks. And I'm not saying he can't build a team. He got Holiday and Brooke Lopez, and he was an architect of a championship team. He won Executive of the Year. I'm not saying the guy sucks, but he does it drafting, though. He's worse than Bill Belichick at drafting, okay? Drafting offense, that is, for Bill Belichick. A.J. Johnson, so wing and a miss. Tyler Johnson, so wing and a miss. Chris Livingston, so wing and a miss. Marjan Beauchamp, so wing and a miss. Isaiah Todd, swing and a miss. Jordan Nwora, swing and a... I mean, dude, I could go on and on and on for days. DJ Wilson, remember him in Michigan? Didn't work out that well. I mean, there's no hits. There's no hits. None. Okay, Dante DiVincenzo, who's not even on the team anymore. I'm looking back here. He's horrible. Thon Maker? Hello? Thon Maker never did anything. All right? Rashad Vaughn. Jabari Parker, a great pick. I mean, we can't get mad at that. It's just, the injury stuff. All right, Dwight, what was your reaction to AM? I just wanted to bang on John Horriblest for his drafting.
No, my rebut to what AM so expertly and astutely laid out for our audience out there and for us, quite frankly, whatever team Antetokounmpo goes to, they're going to be playoff teams. No, at least that's where I think he wants to go. So their draft choices aren't going to be high regardless. And again, my response is I'm only responding to what I've been hearing about the Bucks. The Bucks want to build around a young star. And to me, Oklahoma City and Houston can provide that. Is Jonathan Kuminga a young star that the Bucks can build around? Right? Now, again, you've read my text in the group chat. I think Jonathan Kuminga is as good as the Thompson twins. He just needs the opportunity. You saw last night how exposed Amen Thompson can be and will be come playoff time. Teams don't guard him. Yes, he can score because he's athletic as hell. We all know that. But 11 or 12 of his field goals that were made in the game against the Spurs last night were at the rim. But you're not going to get all of those opportunities come playoff time when coaches and scouts make their money. They know how to expose players. That's why legends are made in the playoffs. When all eyes are on you and you can still succeed, that's how you make your legend. That's how you make your reputation. Amen Thompson, to me, has a ways to go. Jonathan Kuminga, to me, is more offensively skilled than the Thompson twins are. But that's another conversation. So if you think Kuminga is a young player that the Bucks can build around, okay, I'm all on board with Golden State Warriors being in this conversation. But the Miami Heat, who are they going to want? Tyler Hero? You know what I'm talking about? Is Bam Adebayo going to be in that deal? Right? The New York Knicks. Who can, their draft choices notwithstanding, is there a young player currently on the Knicks right now that the Bucks want in return? I know Antetokounmpo.
But this is what I'm talking about, Dwight. I don't want to see the Bucks want a player in return at all. I want them to focus on the draft picks. Kuminga's the only one. That's why I'm saying the Warriors, right? That's why I believe in that team, because you get both best of both worlds. That team is desperate. They're desperate to hold on to Steph Curry's last few years and make a run and maybe bring LeBron James and impair everybody. But you had said like the draft picks aren't going to mean anything. Maybe not this year or next year, but this trade for the Warriors could easily blow up in their face now that Giannis is on the other side of 30, right? So 2 to 4 years from now, when those draft picks actually materialize, that's when the Bucks need to think about this. Oklahoma City's going to be too good for too long. Houston's going to be too good for too long, especially with Ime Udoka. Shout out to my man. You know I love him as a coach. He's top 3 for me. So I never believe they're going to be below 5 or 6 in the West, right? So that's why I'm saying the Warriors. But again, this conversation about bringing young players back or building, stop it, Bucks. It's over. It's over. Get down to 0. We just went through why it's over. Look who the hell is your nucleus and on your team. You want to start with Kuminga, fine, and because you can at least rehab his career. He's the only guy. Everybody else, what are we even talking about? What's the point of bringing Şengün up there? What's the point of bringing Mikal Bridges up there? What's the point of bringing anybody on the Hawks that they have to offer, or Portland as a dark horse and getting Denny Avdija? Like, it's useless. It makes no sense. Get the chance to get the picks back in your coffer, and maybe you could pry Kuminga out of Golden State as well, because just by miracle, kismet, the relationship between him and Kerr is over.
You know what? And I'm all on board. The thing is, it's because right now in our minds we can't see Şengün and either Williams or Holmgren on a different squad because we like how they look currently on their current squads. I get that, but I'm just listening to what the Bucks want. If you have the choice between Holmgren or Williams, Şengün and Kuminga, who are you taking? You get what I'm saying?
Well, if it just comes with Şengün in 1 pick, or it comes with Kuminga and 4 picks because the Warriors are desperate, I'm taking that. If I'm the Bucks with what my cupboard is bare and what the future really holds, I'm taking that.
All right, guys.
All right.
So I will give you my answer here, and AM, it is your answer. It is the Golden State Warriors. I have different wrinkles and different directions here, and I want to go back to what Jake Fisher reported last week. Sources say the Warriors naturally do plan to feature prominently in the trade mix for Antetokounmpo if he becomes available via trade this offseason. This was last week, while also exploring the prospect of teaming LeBron James with Stephen Curry at long last once LeBron becomes an unrestricted free agent. Obviously, with Giannis now wanting out, even though he says he didn't demand a trade, that's just optics and spin. Conversations have been had. We know the writing's on the wall. So he's gone at some point. And I do believe that Milwaukee's going to pull the trigger in advance of this deadline. There's a chance that they won't, and they'll play it out to the summer. Okay. At which point they could go get Giannis and Bron in obviously different moves. I am buying the LeBron James to Golden State vibe, obviously with Bron taking a big pay cut, maybe down to $30 million, whatever that looks like. The question I have is, do the Dubs have enough to get Giannis from the Bucks? And I believe the answer is yes. Jonathan Kuminga is ready to go. He is ready to put 20 on the board every single night in the NBA. Is he a leader? I don't know yet. Is he a winner? I don't know yet, okay? But to AM's point, this is start over time. This is ground zero for Milwaukee, okay? You're screwed. You're in salary cap hell. Get young players and roll the dice on them and give your fan base some hope and some excitement that maybe, just maybe, these are the guys. I just don't think you're going to do better than this, okay? But it's Jonathan Kuminga, potential. Brandon Podziemski, who thinks he has all-star potential, and Joe Lacob at one point mentioned that. I don't know about that, but I do like Podziemski. He's on the Steve Kerr yo-yo right now. If they made him the full-time point guard in Milwaukee, or two guard, and he was playing 33, 34 minutes, I'm telling you the numbers are going to be fan-freaking-tastic. He's going to be flirting, 5+ boards, 6, 7, 8 assists, 15 points. It's going to be stealing, hitting threes. Podziemski's a good player, man, but he's with Steve Kerr, okay? One mistake. Come on over here. You're sitting down, and he sends freaking Guy Santos into the game because he's a dumbass and lost his way. Potentially Draymond Green, okay, and up to 4 draft picks, all right? And maybe a little Buddy Hield, maybe a little Moses Moody to make it work. I think that's a very attractive package for the Milwaukee Bucks. I really, really do. I think that's fair. And you think about the going rate. 2 young, talented starters with significant upside, 4 first-round picks. You think of the Durant trade, the Donovan Mitchell trade. Utah got 3 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps, okay? I think Durant was for 4. DeJounte Murray and Trae Young have been traded, although Trae Young wasn't traded for any draft picks, but DeJounte Murray got 3 or 4 first-round picks. So that's about what we're looking at here. And if the Dubs can merge Giannis with Steph right now, you will get Butler back midseason. There's some talk that Jimmy Butler may be going to Milwaukee in a Giannis deal. But if I'm Milwaukee, what do I want with Jimmy Butler? I don't want him, okay? And if I'm Golden State, I want to keep him because next summer when you get LeBron, or if you get LeBron, then you might get Jimmy Butler back December, January, February. You got Bron, Giannis, and Steph, and then you add Jimmy Butler midstream. Pretty attractive little squad. You can make a ring run with that and then fill the roster out behind that. But you would have LeBron James and Steph Curry chasing ring number 5 together with Giannis chasing ring number 2. Like, let's make this happen. I love it for story time. I love it for nostalgia. I would love it for the league because this would be the it team. And we'd be talking about Golden State for actually exciting, fun reasons as opposed to complaining about them all the time. You know, Draymond Green just said, Derrick Rose means more to Chicago than Michael Jordan. Dude, I can't tell what career Draymond Green needs to retire from first. Either playing because he sucks now, or podcasting because he sucks at that too. Okay, he should probably just retire from both and I don't know, sail the 7 seas. But Derrick Rose means more to Chicago than Michael Jordan. Are you out of your mind, bro? I mean, how? First of all, the only kind of person that could really make is somebody from Chicago. Okay, like what does Draymond know about Chicago other than he goes there once a year with his team? All right, let's keep it moving here, guys. Let's bring the Belichick conversation in here. Dwight, you're going to go first on this one, man. The question is, do you agree with the Bill Belichick Hall of Fame snub? We can all agree that he was snubbed, and we all know why he was snubbed, okay? Those aren't the questions here. The question is, do you agree with the voters, okay? And I'm anticipating both of you guys to say no. I will wait and give you my answer last year, but here's a little setup. So Belichick, 8-time Super Bowl winning coach, 2 as an assistant, 6, of course, with New England, not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Fell short of the 40 out of 50 votes needed. And ESPN reports sources who spoke with him over the weekend described him as puzzled and disappointed. Well, oh, Bill Belichick, so disappointed. I hope you cried like a baby all day, dude, by his inability to secure support from at least 80% of the voters. Belichick asked an associate, 6 Super Bowls isn't enough. He has obviously 333 wins, second only to Don Shula. That's when you combine postseason and regular season. It was one of those stupid ESPN stats. Bill Polian, who's one of the main voters, like one of the biggest voices in the room, and he's an asshat too. Remember, he wanted to turn Lamar Jackson into a tight end. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that horrible hot Draymond? That was even worse than your blather. Okay, so Bill Polian told some voters that he believed Belichick should wait a year before induction as penance for Spygate, the 2007 cheating scandal that cost the team a first-round pick. So, Dwight Walton, that's the setup. It is your time, my friend, and again, no clock. Do you agree with the Bill Belichick Hall of Fame snub?
You know what? You guys normally know that I can go on a diatribe for 10 minutes if I want to. This one is very short. It's an obvious snub. I don't agree with it. And you know what? I'm saying this in sports context. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Everybody wants to get a leg up on an opponent in sports. I understand Spygate. I understand Deflategate. I understand that there's other stuff off the field that maybe some of the reporters don't agree with. I get that. But we're talking about his accomplishments. He is arguably known as the best coach in football. We could talk about Knute Rockne, Bear Bryant, Vince Lombardi, Bill Walsh, Bill Parcells, Jimmy Johnson. The list goes on and on and on. We're talking about a man who has set records on every level, multiple Super Bowls. We could talk about whether we think without Tom Brady, he doesn't win those Super Bowls. But the reality is, he was the head coach of the New England Patriots with Tom Brady as his quarterback. No matter what they did, whether they cheated or not, I believe they would have won those Super Bowls anyway. So he's gonna get in, but unfortunately, all we're gonna be talking about is how he eventually got in when he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's gonna be the story which will override him getting in. The voters know they made an egregious error. And this is where I don't like when human emotion is a part of the voting process. If you harbor bad feelings towards an individual, you can't let this happen. You can't. Keeping Terrell Owens out, right? Because you don't like him. Or just, he doesn't show up for his Hall of Fame induction. There are reasons to why people are harboring bad feelings towards the Hall. You've got Jimmy Johnson now saying he's going to boycott it. Now we're having discussions. Should the vote be redone? Because it's asinine. It's dumb. It's stupid. This shouldn't have happened. He's going to get in because the voters realize what they've done. But again, in sports context, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I know they got caught, but just look at the record. Look at what he's done as a champion, as a head coach. He is arguably the best coach to ever live across college and pro. How he's not in the Hall on a first ballot is beyond me. It's egregious. There's a lot of hypocrites out there. I know it was said by Dot in the group chat that we have a whole bunch of lawbreakers that are in the Hall. Yes, those voters are probably passed on now. Those are old voters. I get it, and times are different. But Bill Belichick not being in the Hall on a first ballot makes no sense. It's an obvious snub. I don't agree with the voters. Something has to be done in terms of the process going forward.
Strong stuff, Dwight. Strong stuff. I disagree with a whole lot of that. And you'll hear my rebuttal here in a minute, but a very, very, very strong take. A.M. Pfeffer, you are up. Do you agree with the Bill Belichick snub?
Jason and Kai, was that 10 minutes from Dwight? Did that just end up being 10 minutes anyway? What was the clock on that?
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's perfect.
You guys know me. I think in terms of math, right? So when I think in terms of Ichiro Suzuki had one imbecile out there who didn't vote him as the unanimous, into the Hall of Fame, and it's understandable that there's one guy out there who didn't do it for whatever reason. It's even understandable for Belichick that there's somewhere between 3 to 5 of the 50 voters who didn't otherwise put him in as the first ballot Hall of Famer. 10 or more than 10 feels collusive to me. And I really
Agreed.
hate that. And I hate that for the voting. I hate that for the NFL. Even as a lifelong Jet fan and how much I hate Bill Belichick, I just hate all of this. That's my answer, guys.
Okay, I don't disagree that it feels collusive. I don't disagree with that, and I like that word. We all know like collusion, but collusive, rarely used and well used there. Dwight and AM in our beautiful audience, we love you so much. We have Kevin Willis coming on at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Buckle up for a trip in the time machine with Kevin Willis. That's going to be fun. Yes. I agree with making Bill Belichick wait. I think the voters got it right. We do not need to change the process. We do not need to indict these voters. And, They certainly would never, ever, ever admit to making a mistake here. They think they did the right thing, and I agree with them, okay? When I saw this headline, Bill Belichick, not a first ballot Hall of Famer, I smiled and was filled with gleeful pride, okay? It made my day, all right? I was in a sailboat, and there was no wind, and a big gust of wind came up, and it powered me down those beautiful waters down here in Florida. That's how it felt. The wind hitting your hair, like a dog putting his head outside the car window, okay? Felt that good. I don't like Bill Belichick. I respect the body of work, but I don't like this dude. His arrogance is not charming. It's annoying. It's ugly, okay? It's not attractive at all. Bill Belichick is the GOAT of coaching, okay? Give him that. Like I said, I ain't taking flowers away from this guy. I just don't like him. He is the GOAT of coaching, and he's also the GOAT of cheating, okay? Bill Belichick is the biggest cheater in the history of the NFL. That's documented. That's factual. That's not an opinion. How many Super Bowls would New England have won without the cheating? We'll never know. Dwight says they would have won every single one. I strongly disagree with that. I will tell you right now, there is no way the Patriots beat the greatest show on turf without cheating. There's no way. Okay, that Rams team was the it team that year. They were basically untouchable, one of the greatest offenses we've ever seen, and they were all at their peak. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Marshall Faulk, Kurt Warner, stop the music, dude. Okay, and you had Oz Hakeem, you had Ricky Prohl. They were going 4 wide when no one was going. I mean, I guess in the run and shoot in Houston they did, but you guys get my point, okay? There's no way they win that game without cheating. And guys, it was like a 10-point spread, all right? And we were all watching that Super Bowl like, what am I watching here? How is this happening? Because they cheated, okay? They spied and did all their little Belichick stuff, and that's how they beat the greatest show on turf, all right? Steve Kerr's legacy is stained because he ruins and stunts careers. Bill Belichick's legacy is stained because he's a sloppy, serial cheater. That's right, I said sloppy because he kept getting caught all the time. People act like Bill Belichick is the only GOAT that didn't make the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, okay? He's not. Terrell Owens was forced to wait 2 years by the voters because T.O. didn't play nice and kiss your ass, media members. That's why you iced him out. Terrell Owens is on the Mount Rushmore of wide receivers. It's Jerry Rice, it's Randy Moss, it's Terrell Owens, and it's Larry Fitzgerald. And it's not debatable, okay?
Yep.
And well, that's just no, it's not. It's statistically based. People always, how is Larry? Stop sleeping on Larry Fitzgerald. Boom, wake up. Frying pan upside the head. Will you look at his resume, please, for the love of football? Chris Webber. Chris Webber. My buddy Chris Webber. I need a quick shot of water here. Chris Webber was forced to wait 8 years. Yeah. 8 years. 8. This guy was 20, 10, and 5 every night. And he had to wait 8 years. Why? Because he allegedly said yes to the bag man on his way to Michigan back in the day. It's one of the biggest jokes in basketball history. Who didn't take the bag? I mean, stop it. Shaq, here's the hypocrisy of this. Shaquille O'Neal literally admitted the only reason I went to LSU is because they gave me the biggest bag of money. It's on record. And he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But you hold that against C-Web for 8 years? Come on, man.
And he made a movie about it in Blue Chips. Shaq doubled down on it.
Shaq wasn't acting in Blue Chips, was he? Was he, Rick?
No.
I was saying,
No, he wasn't. No, that was not method acting either, okay? Jerry Colangelo, I love you, but you are so wrong for how you did Chris Webber, dude. So T.O. and C-Web are not the GOAT like Bill Belichick is, but they're all-time greats who had to suffer the punitive wrath of their respective Hall of Fames. So they deserve to be first ballot Hall of Famers, way more than Bill Belichick does, okay? Because their alleged transgressions are less than Bill Belichick's confirmed, documented, indicted, and convicted, okay, situations with cheating. All right, let's move on to a fun topic here,
Wait,
guys.
Rick, please, if I may, Rick, I have to say this. Wait, hold on a second.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Rick, I love you. You know what I was thinking halfway through all of this? First of all, I love you, dude, for saying all that. I'm like a member of the jury. You know, like I got called in for jury duty and somehow I got picked and I'm sitting there on a 2-week case and I had to freaking sign off on guilty because, you know, it's the letter of the law. But the smart dude in the box got to say what it was, and he like literally argued why when we all got back and deliberated in the room and argued why that was going to be a mistrial, and 11-1 happened, and he just would not vote guilty. Thank you, Rick. Thank you very much. We all needed to hear that. I love that. Screw you, Bill Belichick.
But wait. You see, first of all, Rick, you're proving my point. Now, this is an opinion-based show, so I get it, and you don't have a vote. But the thing you at the beginning of your rant, you said, "Good for Bill Belichick, good for the Hall. I don't like Bill Belichick." That has nothing to do with the record on the field, and that's exactly how those 10 reporters voted. I don't like Bill Belichick.
I don't agree with that. I think it was clearly the cheating. I don't think it was because they I just put that in there. Like, we're just talking. That's almost like water cooler stuff, saying I don't like Bill Belichick, right? Like, that's not the foundation of the opinion that I just gave you guys. The foundation, of course, and what reiterated is he's the greatest cheater the league has ever seen.
So the idea is just make him wait. Give him some.
Can we agree on that?
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Just make it known you cheated.
Okay,
can we agree? Can all three of us agree that Bill Belichick is the biggest cheater the NFL has ever seen? Do we agree on that?
You got my vote on that.
That's been caught. Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, he was sloppy. To Rick's point, he was sloppy, and now he's got to wait a year for being sloppy.
And arrogant.
So to your point, Rick, this is the NFL's way of punishing Bill Belichick. So are we expecting Tom Brady to not be inducted on the first ballot to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, no, he'll go in first ballot because the blood is on Bill Belichick's hands and the smoking gun. And they traced the knife that he threw in the river back to him when it washed up on shore through DNA testing. And so none of that blood is on Tom Brady's hands. It's on Belichick's hands. And I'm not saying Tom Brady is completely absolved of any potential guilt here. And maybe it's a little hypocritical, not of me, but of, but I just don't think Brady's going to suffer this wrath. I think they're going to have a red carpet rolled out for him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay,
yeah, there's two problems for Belichick. He's got Spygate and he's got the deflated balls. Brady really just has the deflated balls, but it's different when you're out there actually having to sling them around and play on the field and dodge 300-pound guys who are literally trying to rip your head off. The blood's on Belichick's hands. Brady deserves to be first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh man! So whose idea was it to deflate the footballs? Was it Bill's or Tom's?
Yeah,
even
Belichick.
If it was Tom's, he's got right. But whether it was Tom's or not, like Belichick knows about it, he looks the other way, right? So like I'm saying, he's got 2 against him. Spygate, you can't put on Brady, right? Like he had a whole system. I mean, Belichick had a whole system for years, and more than likely against the Rams, as you mentioned, as to the cheating and how he was able to bring this about. That's very like behind the scenes coaching stuff. The deflated footballs is a weird one to me. It's so weird, like. It's an advantage. It's steroids, whatever. But like, still, Brady's got to go out there and execute, whether you got deflated balls or not. That's very different.
Well, and this is my point. Now, listen, you've heard me say many times on this program, coaches and scouts make their money when it matters most in the playoffs. In football, because it's week to week, they have to it's a playoff game every week. Coaches and scouts get money because they get advanced scouting. They scout the opposition. They have tape on the opposition. So, in essence, is that cheating? Now, again, they had people in the stadium. I get all of that. They had cameras in the stadium. I get that. But at the end of the day, ultimately, you have to be able to out-execute the opposition if you want to win, whether you cheat or not, whether you know the signs or not, whether you know the verbiage or not. It's up to the players out there to execute the game plan and to out execute the opposition if you want to win. I think this Spygate, this Deflategate, albeit cheating, is being blown way out of proportion, and for that to be used as an excuse to punish Bill Belichick and to not put him in on the first ballot, that makes no sense to me.
Dwight, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question because you just brought it up. There's a very big difference between advanced scouting, which is sanctioned, and then what you're doing in game. You think the Houston Astros, do you think what they did was okay? Do you think they would have been in the World Series or won those World Series with that nonsense drum beating play call? You know, I don't even remember exactly what it was, but the whole thing was, it was the sign stealing, and then they were like drum beat. I don't remember exactly how they did it, but guys, you know, like let's call it like it was. That was a pretty significant advantage, and I think a lot of people would agree the Houston Astros should be stripped of those titles and wouldn't have otherwise won
titles
that.
Or
that's
that
different.
year.
Excuse me, that title.
Okay.
But that in particular, right, gives you the perfect example of in-game cheating, and in-game cheating is way different than advanced scouting, which is sanctioned. You can't compare.
But the thing is, okay, fair enough. But stealing signs is almost a rite of passage in baseball. That happens all the time. All the time.
It happens all the time when you know, if in the game, okay, the players who are trying to outmaneuver each other may do something from second base or whatever it is. But if you literally have dudes sitting in, you know, the stands with binoculars and then signaling down to somebody else and then doing something, that is full blown cheating. That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not strategy. That's just cheating. And that's what Spygate was, whether people want to call it or not. And Belichick was doing it a long ass time for years to a lot of teams.
All right, let me bring in Brandon Armstrong here. B-Dot is now joining us, and at a perfect time for a shot of a white wall. All right, he stepped away. He'll be back in a second here. Dwight, all right, B-Dot.
There he is.
B-Dot, yo!
Brandon.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude? What's happening?
Brandon,
how y'all doing?
Oh, yeah,
No, hold on, Rick. I know for a fact that Dot is gonna be on my side. And Dot, I just want to say,
don't lead the witness. No leading the witness around here.
No. Okay, that's fine. But Dot, I just want to say, full disclosure, fully transparent. I used your quote from the group chat for as a part of my retort or response to Rick's question. Okay, so you could use it because it's yours. I'm not leading you into this. Rick's gonna ask you the question, and you can respond.
Say no more.
B-Dot, the great Brandon Armstrong, the world famous NBA impersonator and a man of many talents. The question is, Brandon Armstrong, do you agree with Bill Belichick's Hall of Fame snub? You're up.
Not at all. No. Because if that's the case, if what Bill Belichick has done, he has the most Super Bowls out of anybody. 2 with the Giants, 6 with the Patriots. It's 8 Super Bowls. He's the most winningest coach, but besides Don Shula. But playoffs, Super Bowl wins, playoff wins, he's number 1. Okay, like I said, it's guys in the NFL in the Hall of Fame that were on trial for killing people, that were on trial for drugs, that has so many things that I think that are way more worse than Spygate and all that, which he did get penalized for. He got penalized, this amount of money, draft picks, etc. He already served his time. Okay, that's out of there. This is the greatest head coach of all time, arguably, and he's not a first ballot Hall of Fame because you want to give him a little spanking on the hand and say he should wait 1 year. Like, no, if that's the case, then no coach should be in the NFL. Even Tom Brady said it. Let's like come on now. And then they try to put him and Robert Kraft at the same time, kind of trying to pit them against each other, because now you make Bill Belichick wait another year. Guess who else has to wait another year? All those other coaches that were on the ballot to be in the Hall of Fame. I can't think of these guys' name. I know it's Holmgren, the old Pittsburgh coach, a couple other guys also. Now you're having them wait a whole nother year. No, he should be first ballot Hall of Fame. He should be first ballot everything. This is Bill Belichick, all right? And the numbers don't lie. If we throwing D Rose in the Hall of Fame, Bill Belichick needs to be the Hall of Fame logo if there is one. That's what I gotta say.
I love the callback to Derrick Rose too. All right, we got Kevin Willis coming up. So it's 3-1. By the way, AM, Dwight, and B. Dot all say yes, or they disagree with the decision to snub him. I liked it and went on a long rant about it, but I do like it. Guys, Jason and Kai behind the glass. Kevin Willis is calling me right now. Obviously, I can't take his call, but so I'm not sure what he needs, but wanted to make you aware of that. We're scheduled to have Kevin on at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Let's fit in a topic before we bring on Kevin. What is your favorite LeBron era? Okay, your favorite LeBron era. Last night, of course, nostalgic. Back in Cleveland. Cleveland smoked them by 30 points, man. 129-99. Bron was not good. 11 points, 5 assists in 27 minutes. Pretty terrible game by his standards. He got teary when they ran the tribute video for him. And Dave McMenamin reported that the Cavs would gladly sign LeBron James this summer if he wanted to return. So, B-Dot, I want to keep you going here. And let's put a 1-minute timer on this one, guys, 60 seconds or less. What is your favorite Bron era, Brandon Armstrong?
Ooh. It's probably that 2015, 2014 to like 2018, like those 4 or 5 years when he just left Miami and went back to Cleveland. That Bron was different, bro. The way that he literally put the Cavaliers on his back, and I'm not trying to hear all that. The East was weak. The East was da-da-da. It doesn't matter. This is a grown man. It's a team game. It's just not him. He didn't score 98 points, all right? He did it on every single aspect, hitting game-winning shots, hitting clutch shots, triple-doubles. Like, that 2018 Bron, it was different. From that era, right when he left Miami, when he was in Miami too, right when he won that championship for the Cavs, different. The Bron with the mustache, different. So probably those that 2000, like I said, that 2013, 14 to 2018, that was my favorite LeBron. Like, just because I think that was his prime.
Mute, Rick.
Rick, you're on mute.
Mute, Rick.
I said Aaliyah and Brandy are gassing you up. They agree with that take right there. AM Pfeffer, you are next. 60 seconds, your favorite Bron era.
All right, I'm going to microscope this for you. Not even just an error. There's like a week of LeBron that I love. And you guys are going to have to fact check me on this. I'm pretty sure it was 2013, and I'm pretty sure it was actually coming up in like a week, like early February, when the dude shot over 60% for that week. You guys remember that? You remember that it was like 6 or 7 games. It was a 6-game stretch. It was like nothing the NBA had ever seen. In fact, no one had ever done it before, not even the great Michael Jordan, who we mentioned. Right? Somebody check that for me. I'm going to say 2013. Miami won the title. It was like, he was not that long into the Miami tenure, but like, oh my God. I mean, pick like an era, whatever you want to say, but like that week of basketball is like my favorite week of basketball ever. And that is LeBron James on point, over 60% field goal percent, over 60%. It was so cool. Did anybody check that? Was that
no
the year? Anybody? You didn't check it, or I'm wrong?
Yo.
No. I didn't check it.
Oh, it's all right. That's fine. We'll check. We can look it up afterwards. We got Cam. Cam, you're on mute again.
Dr. X, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. How you doing?
What up, my fellas? Chilling.
Really?
Yo.
Really?
What? You're already starting with him? What's going on here?
Not even 30 seconds on, Doctor.
What is happening? So, Dr. X, we're in the middle of a topic right here. So let's get you in on this, man. What's your favorite LeBron era? Like the first Cleveland, when he went with Miami, the second Cleveland, or what he's been doing with the Lakers. Like, what's your favorite era of LeBron?
Honestly, I was really rooting for LeBron. Sorry about this, guys. I'm getting all settled. I was really rooting for LeBron back in Miami. But I was sick because I just looked at it. People were too hard on him, I felt. And I think I looked at it as him going to college. You know, it was 4 years. He's never been away from home. It was perfect. So I was just like, you know what? I really want this guy to win. And he was doing so much to try to win before for like 7 years in Cleveland. So I was really going for LeBron in the Miami years. I wish he won a little bit more so that people wouldn't be joking on him so much. But um, I was also pleasantly surprised to see that the NBA was still competitive despite this Miami team, and Dallas winning that year kind of put faith back that the competitive balance was still intact, despite the whole Miami thing. But truth be told, I think my favorite was when he first started that Sacramento game, game one, 2003, all the hype, and then he lived up to it, and they got rid of Ricky Davis and all that good stuff. But yeah, that was it.
You remember that commercial, guys? You remember the commercial that ran right before he took court? You remember that where like that where he's frozen for like 15 seconds and then he smiles at the camera and then he's like, "I got this."
Yep.
That was one of the greatest commercials ever. And he
That was cool.
had it ever since that day one. Yeah.
All right, so Doc took us back to the Miami days. I'm going to as well, Doc, but I'll give my answer last. Dwight Walton, your favorite LeBron era?
We could arguably say, Rick and panel, that LeBron has had 4 separate Hall of Fame careers throughout his 23-year career. But listen, I know you want one, but it's hard for me to decide between the 4 years of Miami and, to Dot's answer, the 4 years after Miami in Cleveland. That's where he was most dominant. That's where he was the best two-way player in the NBA. He was asked to do everything. And to Dot's point, you could diminish LeBron as much as you want in the quote-unquote weak Eastern Conference. But once LeBron left that conference, how many teams all of a sudden became favorites to win the conference? LeBron left, so everyone felt that they had a chance, right? Even the Golden State Warriors in LeBron's second tenure with the Cavaliers, they felt that they had to go out and get Kevin Durant so they can beat LeBron James in an NBA Finals series. So I know I'm skirting around it here, but it's just difficult for me to decide between the Miami tenure and the second stint in Cleveland. But if I have to give it to one, I will say, to Dot's point, the second tenure in Cleveland. He was outstanding. But that 8-year period, he was dominant on both ends of the court. Unbelievable.
Fantastic, guys. All right, so here is my answer. My favorite Bron era is Miami Bron, Heatles Bron. Okay, this is my favorite LeBron era because of who LeBron became when he took his talents to South Beach. He became a killer. Okay, he solved the riddle. LeBron didn't know how to win big during his first run with the Cavs. Too young, team not built enough around him, right? Kept knocking on the door, couldn't get over the hump. He did not have a suitable sidekick, a championship Robin like Kyrie, Tony Parker, Scottie Pippen, those types of guys. But there was also one more level he needed to get to. Shaq did not win and he got with Phil Jackson. Jordan did not win until he got with Phil Jackson. LeBron did not win until he got with Pat Riley. It's not a coincidence. And he got a championship level Robin and Dwayne Wade. Bron in Miami features the most important and transcendent game of his entire career. Game 6 of the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. I know I may go beyond a minute here a little bit, but hear me out. This is incredible history. The Heatles were down. If you remember, 2011, they blow a 2-1 lead to the Mavs, and everybody just raining down on them for a whole year, right? Making another run in 2012. East Finals. You're down 3-2, heading to Boston, when Boston was Boston, for a Game 6 death game, okay? There were rumors that Pat Riley was going to blow up the Heatles if they did not win the chip that year. The stakes could not have been higher for that game. The most pressure LeBron's ever faced in any game he's ever played. LeBron finally got over the hump that night, finally reached that otherworldly level like Jordan, Kobe, Duncan did so many times. LeBron had that serial killer look. It's still a meme, right, where he's kind of down like this, like looking up. You guys know the meme I'm talking about. From that, okay? The whole game he had that look. 45, 15, and 5. was his stat line. He made 17 of 26 shots. It's the greatest game he's ever played and the most important game he's ever played. They blew out the Celtics 98-79, won Game 7 in Miami 2 nights later, and then, of course, LeBron won his first Finals MVP when they beat OKC 4-1. 28, 10, and 7 were his averages in that final, by the way. So that's what I got is the Miami LeBron because of that game, Game 6, East Finals in 2012. Doc, I want to go back to the Giannis debate that we had. Now, there's been all kinds of news here, right? Giannis wants out. Bucks finally ready to talk. All of these teams making aggressive offers. We're getting Shams bombs about it and stuff like that. So we all gave our answers. Me and AM said Golden State. Dwight said Houston. It's the thing is pick a team, right? Just pick one team for Giannis. And I kind of think, Doc, we know the team that you're going to pick. But the floor is yours. No timer on this. And then B-Dot will go after you. But Dr. X, pick one team for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So where I think he'll go versus where I want him to go. Obviously, I want him to go to the Knicks. I don't know what they're going to have to give up for him to go to the Knicks. As long as they don't give up Brunson and Josh Hart, I think the culture will be intact if you at least have those three, and then you'll figure out who to build around them. I think the Bucks, as I've been preaching this whole season, the Bucks owe it to Giannis. He came there, he built them a new arena, he got them a ring. They know where this will go if he doesn't get traded before the trade deadline. He will then have, his leverage will raise, and if he's not going to sign with the team long term, they're not going to gut their team unless, you're like a Toronto franchise, which, gambled and won with Kawhi Leonard one time, right? So there's going to be very few teams that will play that game. And I just feel like the Bucks owe it to Giannis. He did enough for the organization for them to grant him his wish, which was earlier this year to go to the Knicks. So not only do I think he will go there, I want him to go there. I think they'll work it out. I think they see that they can get what they want if they add some other teams to this equation, and they'll get the draft picks. They need to get some depth or something to build around, so that when they do get those good draft picks, they can develop a good culture about what they really want to do. So my bet is that he goes to the Knicks. I want him to go to the Knicks as well, and I think the Knicks will have a championship roster by trade deadline. And if it's not trade deadline, he's definitely coming during the summer, because I think he wants to be there long term.
He certainly does. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and there was a lot of smoke about him wanting to be a Knick. Okay, so AM says Golden State. I say Golden State. Doc says the Knicks. Dwight says Houston. Brandon Armstrong, no clock. Pick a team for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Pick one team.
Ah, my goodness, man. He got to get up out the East. If I'm the Bucks, I'm not trying to see Giannis 3 to 4 times a year. So you got to get him about there. I mean, Golden State's cool. Maybe 2 years there, because Steph about to be in and out like the burger. Honestly, man, send him to Minnesota. Send him to Minnesota, man. Send him to Minnesota. Why not? Come on now, Julius Randle, you can get up out of there. Even if you do want to keep Julius, you get go Burt. You want to keep McDaniels. You want to try to keep that defensive paralysis in him, but he might gotta go. Or you throw a Naz Reid in there. But I would love to see Giannis in Minnesota. Why not? It's on the West. It's a young team. He has a chance to build with Ant. I know he said he wanted to be somewhere warm, but Minnesota's pretty during the summer. Minnesota's a nice little spot. And if you're trying to win, why don't you go team up with another up and coming on the rise? He's already a superstar, but when I'm talking about that face of the NBA, why not? I like him in Minnesota. So I want to see him in Minnesota.
B-Dot, let me explain something to you. Minnesota has a summer. It does. It has a summer. It lasts 1.5 months. Okay? That's how long summer is. 1.5 months. That's all you get. Okay? That's all I'm just kidding. It's about a month summer, though. It's not long. All right. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So I've been kind of texting with Kevin Willis a little bit, and it seems like we're going to get him in about a half hour. So we're kind of playing the float game and the long game here, but it still looks good to get the great Kevin Willis on the show coming up in a little bit. All right, let's get to another 60-minute or less topic here, guys. Our guy, Shedeur Sanders. We love Shedeur Sanders around here. We support him. I root for him. I think the kid's a hell of a player. I think he's just a really good young man. I do. I think he gets it. Anyway, so this is not any kind of bang on Shedeur Sanders thing, right? We all saw that he was named to the Pro Bowl, right? Because injuries and Drake Mays, obviously in the Super Bowl, and we know how the Pro Bowl is. The Pro Bowl's a sham and all that kind of stuff. But so it just brought up, like, what's the biggest joke in sports? Because, like, we all want Shedeur Sanders. Well, I shouldn't say that. I want Shedeur Sanders to succeed. I'll just speak for myself. But he wasn't that good this year, right? It's okay. He's a rookie, not very many reps. We get all that stuff. But so this isn't about, but it is kind of a joke that Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowl. Like, I mean, yeah, he played like 5 games, right? I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? There was literally nobody else. But anyway, so what is the biggest joke in sports? That's the question. Open canvas for you. I want to go to A.M. Pfeffer first on this. A.M., what's the 60 seconds or less? What's the biggest joke in sports to you?
Despite my rant a few weeks ago about the Heisman Trophy, and you know how I all feel about that, the biggest joke in sports is so easy, my friends. It is my New York Jets. I mean, come on, guys. You know, like Cleveland and Miami in the NFL, yeah, the Jets have you beat. Okay, the Buffalo Sabres are the only, like, the Jets are 15 years out of the playoffs for any major pro sports team, which is a record. Okay, it's then the Buffalo Sabres, by the way, who are 4th, I believe, in the entire conference in the East this year. So they're making the playoffs. Okay, so their streak's going to end.
They're playing
After that,
great.
You got to go to like Charlotte. What's that?
The Sabres are playing great.
Yeah, they're playing great. Like they're back. They're back in a big way. So like the Jets can, guys. Woody Johnson is now clearly the worst owner in sports. You just have to, like, I know we bang on the Jets. I know what it is, but like, if you really pay attention to this team and you see what's going on and what a clown show it was when he was the ambassador of England, and like the nonsense that came out of his mouth, the misogyny, the racism, the idiocy, like the worst. Okay. And then this recent report just last year about his sons being part of like bringing players or not bringing players to the Jets based on Madden ratings, which I got to tell you, I believe the report. It goes on and on. They are beyond a joke. You can't get a guy like Belichick resigned after one day. Vrabel was never coming. Sean Payton was never on the radar. Big name, real name coaches are not on the radar to come to the Jets. We are in coordinator land forever. We're overpaying for players like we have for the last 20 years. And until Woody Johnson relinquishes his team to somebody else, they are so far and away the biggest joke in sports. It pains me to say so. Thank you for the whistle. I'll move on. It's the New York Jets. Not even close.
B-Dot, tell him the Jets killed Carl. Okay? They literally killed a man. The New York Jets killed Carl. Dude,
Poor Carl, man.
That might be the best episode of all time. I'm serious, on Curb, because you remember they had the magical body part, right? Remember that? I don't want to like get super graphic with you, but there was the lady, the widow, who had the magic body part, right? And we all remember they all wanted her, right? And remember who got with her? It was the young kid, right? Great irony in the show. And remember, that was the episode where Larry went into the restaurant and they sat the beautiful people on one side of the restaurant and the ugly people on the other side of the restaurant. And they put Larry and Jeff on the ugly side. And he's like, we're with all the ugly people. Oh my God, that episode. It's like 8 home runs in one 30-minute episode. Okay, Curb rant over. Let's go to Dwight Walton here. Dwight, what is the biggest joke in sports?
The biggest joke right now for me, college eligibility for basketball players. Having all these G League players, having all these pros putting themselves back in college basketball, having all of these coaches just get these players to play. That just tells me, I know that the term student athlete is really not the truth, but to have these coaches actually go through with this, and I praise Tom Izzo, I praise John Calipari, and the coaches that have spoke out openly about their disgust with their fellow coaches in taking these players on their roster. It's a complete joke. Everything in the NCAA to me needs to be fixed. The timeline in college football when it comes to recruiting and the transfer portal, and for college basketball to allow this to happen, a lot of stuff has to be fixed. Man, I understand that the NIL and the transfer portal have changed the landscape of collegiate sports overall, but allowing these guys who have been in the G League, players that have already been drafted, to go back and play in college basketball, that makes zero sense to me. Do I have any years of eligibility left? I'll come back and play with both of my hips replaced. That's how it is.
I love it. Coach Cal could use you this year, Dwight. He could. So, Doc, the question is, what's the biggest joke in sports? We saw, Shedeur Sanders made the Pro Bowl, and so it just brought, what's the biggest joke in sports? So to you, Dr. X, what is the biggest joke in sports?
The first thing that came to mind, I hate for it to be Nick-based, but it really isn't because we don't know where he's going to go. But all these fake calf injuries is so annoying. It's like they found something to be in their new wheelhouse. I think the worst thing that could ever happen is for like 3 players that were of note, Tatum, Lillard, Halliburton, that tore their Achilles. Because this wasn't an issue like a decade ago, 5 years ago. And people may say, oh, it's the pace of the league, it's the this of the league. But I think while that may be true, I think some people are taking advantage of that knowledge. And even the medical staff is taking advantage of that knowledge. So maybe the player wants to play, and maybe they want to sit the player. And they just have that now to be like, okay, you're out, concussion. It could be this, it could be calf strain, but whatever it is, it's not helping with availability for the players. And I think players would play through it back in the day.
I love it. One of the top sports medicine radiologists in America, Dr. X, breaking it down. And Doc, I'm buying what you're selling, and that's a meal that I want to sit down and eat, my friend. I'm hearing it. I'm buying it. I'm buying it. Sing it, Doc. Sing it, Dr. X. All right, B-Dot, what's the biggest joke in sports?
Man, you want to know something funny? I always, use ChatGPT to help me, structure how I want to say things and just give me some ideas or whatever. And I had typed in, what is the biggest joke in sports? And the first thing that popped up was the New York Jets. I'm not lying. I am not joking. Honestly, I can't. I am not lying. I said, wait, this can't be true. They had to be listening.
That's so good.
It literally
That's so good.
Like New York Jets. This isn't hate. This is history. The franchise has been one piece away for 55 years. Every season starts with hope and ends with a press conference, a scapegoat, and a new excuse. They ruin quarterbacks like it's a developmental program for other teams. Draft one, break him. Trade for one, waste him. Sign a veteran, blame him. They've had elite defenses, Hall of Fame coaches, draft picks, and somehow still can't get out of their own way. The Jets are the only team where expectations die in September, but optimism somehow resurrects itself by April. So I guess I got to piggyback on AM, man, and it's the New York Jets. If ChatGPT said it, then they know something that we all know. It's the Jets.
Carl, rest in peace, Carl. Rest in peace,
so
my friend.
It's so funny. Yeah, Larry, they tortured him. All the losses, all the letdowns, all the fumbles, and all the. Oh my God, that episode, man! I want to go back and watch that. All right, biggest joke in sports for me. Number one, I got a quick top 5 for you. Number one, Tony Romo making $18 million per season to literally butcher every single game he calls. That's the biggest joke in sports. Number 2, the NBA slam dunk contest, ruined by LeBron. Number 3, the NBA All-Star game, egregious abuse of player empowerment and entitlement amongst NBA players. 4, Dwight, is the college rule about eligibility, and that's 4 for me. And 5, not being able to advance the ball past half court with a timeout late in a college basketball game. It is the worst rule in that sport. It keeps us from all kinds of buzzer beaters and killer endings.
I agree with that.
You're down 2 or 3. You got to go 94 feet, and they never do a damn thing. All right? Grant Hill and Christian Laettner ain't coming through that window performing a miracle in this tournament. So March Madness would be even more mad if you were able to advance the ball past half court. And I've gotten in so many debates with college basketball heads. Purists, they can't do that. They've never done that. Why would they do that? Because it's smart. It's evolution.
I agree.
You dummies, stop it. Make the sport better, okay? But just because you've done something your whole life doesn't mean you can't tweak it and change it and make it better, okay? All right, let's talk.
I want to piggyback off that for 2 seconds. I think
up?
Another big joke in sports is the touchback advancing to the 35-yard line. With, the kickers use different type of balls now to kick the ball. They only need about 25 yards to attempt a game-winning or game-tying field goal. I think they should keep it at the 20-yard line, go back to the 20-yard line, because the 35-yard line, the way the kickers are kicking now and the evolution of the balls, I'm pretty sure. Like, these kickers are kicking 60-plus yards now, and these guys are 48-plus with iron legs. So I think they should go back to the 20-yard line.
I agree with
you.
Hey,
I got 2 more. I got 2 more for you, Rick.
Yeah, what's up? Hit me.
Another one would be the replay. It's just inconsistent, like the rules of when they want to replay something, how they replay it. I just think they need to do a better job, and also not taking so much time to review certain things. So I know they have the headsets now, which is great, but that's another thing that I think is annoying.
Love it, man.
Dwight, as a referee, how do you feel about the charge call? You want to keep that, or would you like to get rid of that in basketball?
So, dude, it's like you're reading my mind. Listen, now, I don't want players to be bowling guys over, but I think when I see the charge call, especially guys like Marcus Smart and all that. Listen, I understand that taking the charge is a part of defense, but I see a lot of players relying on that call. My biggest pet peeve in basketball is when someone's coming down on a fast break, they pass the ball to an open player, and the defender stands there, takes the charge, and the official rewards the defender. Even myself, as an official, I know I shouldn't do it. If I see that in one of the games I'm reffing, I'm not calling that. I'm just not. So I would like to see the charge call not so much outlawed of the sport, but it has to be like completely egregious for it to be called. Again, I don't want players just simply bowling over guys. I get that. But I have a hard time with the charge block call or the block charge call in a basketball game, even myself as an official.
Oh, wait, Rick, one last thing. The draw. There should be no more draws. It should be no more tie games. I know it's just for the regular season, but in the playoffs, it should be the same way it is for the playoffs. Fans need to get their money's worth. If they got to be there another 3 hours, then they'll be there another 3 hours.
I like
this. Whoa. You're talking about football, Phil?
Yeah.
Dude, do you understand? You do realize that football is a gladiator sport, right? There's a reason why
someone has to give up. Someone has to give up. Battle of attrition. You're playing. If you don't like the sport, get out of it.
Okay, so hold on. So as the resident doctor on here, you're already talking about players faking injuries, and now you want these guys to play to the death.
Not in football. Man. In basketball, they fake injuries. In basketball, they fake injuries. Hey, if they're already playing the sport for all this time, you already know what's at risk.
Perpetual war, man. Let it go on another hour or two. No, that is crazy, Phil. I'm kind of with that.
But hold on.
In the playoffs,
serious jeopardy keeping about too much longer in overtime.
Yeah, but the thing is, Phil,
think about it, and they shortened the overtime period from 15 minutes a regular quarter down to 10. Which leads to even more.
Or at least do what college does and bring it down to the 25-yard line, right? Like they go to 6 overtimes, but make it sudden death. Make it down to what college does. So now you're running up the score. You make it exciting. There's overbet implications on that.
All these guys, all these salaries.
Or they can use that touchback rule to the 35-yard line in overtime only.
Yeah, but Dom, let's talk about that touchback rule for a second. I mean, they've amended the rules already, but I like what you're saying about it. But if you do it maybe in the last minute of the game or in overtime, so it doesn't affect what it is on that last kick if somebody's going to win or they're going to tie the game. I like that then, right? Because they do have these rules where it's like, oh, you can only do this in the last minute or 2 minutes of the game, or you can't do this in the last 2 minutes. The rest of the time, right, the kicker's got to, because you have this amazing return now, right? Like it's electrified the game a little bit more, but maybe in the last minute or two, it would be to the 20-yard line. I like your idea.
Yo, cuz
there's a reason. You got to use your roster. Use your roster. You have a full roster. There's a reason. But hold on. A whole season. There's a reason why you can't leave college football until your third year, because they want your body to develop. It's a gladiator sport, man. What are you talking about? I get it, and they have enough people out there on their roster. Let the guys that never play. They only play in preseason.
I'm with Doc.
Battle of attrition.
I'm with Doc on this one, man. And if I don't know the last time you guys have been to an NFL practice. In the radio stuff that I did, I went to a lot of Falcons practices, went to a lot of Houston Texans practices. Guys, they never hit. Okay, they just run around in shorts and basically play catch. And I was so I literally couldn't believe it when I went to all these practices, and it's skill work, and they'll run plays, but nobody hits, and it's like, what are you doing? All you're doing is getting exercise. That's all you're doing. Oh, and a little bit of organization. You know the plays. You run to the A gap, the B, whatever the hell. Okay, but I was like, are these guys going to play football today? Are they going to hit anybody? No. I think do these guys have another 10 minutes in them, another 15 minutes in them, another half hour in them? You're damn right they do. I'm with Doc, dude. I'm with Doc. And the reason that they went from a 15-minute to a 10 is the networks, okay? Because in that first window, the 1 o'clock games, they don't want a 1 o'clock game go until 4:50, 5:15, and it messes up the whole thing. And so that's why they did it, but that's garbage. You are literally cheating your sport, so networks are happier with how a game fits in a window on the clock. Like, that's garbage to me. I'm actually 100% with Doc on this. I like it. Let's start a petition.
You know what? Other than Thanksgiving, I want the NFL to eliminate the Thursday games. You don't get the best product. You don't.
Well, another joke is the Christmas Day games for the NFL. They need to stop that.
Why?
I'm trying to compete with the NBA. Because they just didn't do it before. So why all of a sudden they're trying to monopolize that?
Why? Because the NFL is the most popular sport in North America. And
it did horribly this year. NBA had it unlocked as usual.
Let's go, baby.
You guys had all these injuries. You had all these injuries and all these narratives flushed down the toilet. So you guys are just there watching the NBA. They're not wanting to watch the NFL.
You just don't like the National Football League. Just say that.
Yeah, no, I like the National Football League, but they need to stay in the little box.
Y'all gonna always find a way to disagree with each other, man.
Of course.
Dwight always has that little
Rick next topic can be Rick next topic can be what are the best Girl Scout cookies, and y'all gonna find a way to go against each other. The Thin Mints is better. No, Samoa's got the caramel in them. Like, I love it.
Samoa's my jam, dude. That's for sure.
I'm with you. So we're already in agreement on that. Samoans are easily the best.
Samoa's easily the best Girl Scout cookie. Dwight, Doc, what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Oh, I don't like Girl Scout cookies. I need my cookies to be warm and soft. It can't be all this hard, like, I need
fair enough.
All about the texture, man.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, there we go. Let's mark this down in history.
It took Girl Scout cookies for these two to agree.
Wow. So you guys need like the Nestle Toll House, the chocolate chip. You pull it out of the oven, and that thing is just
those are good.
Or the chewy ones. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. The ones that aren't perfect shape. Exactly. Ill shape. The one if it's an odd shape, it's the best cookie there. You gotta get that.
Hold on, there's a list of cookies here. Wait a minute.
Give me the Samoa for the win.
Here.
It's always, man. I can't do the chocolate and mint. I'm not a chocolate and mint guy. I don't
Me neither.
It.
Thank you, Doc. Yes, I agree with that.
Come on,
Totally
man. I
agree.
can't do it, man. Okay, next, Rick. Next topic, Rick. My bad. We about to get into food.
No. Okay, so I think we're going to get Kevin Willis on here in a little bit, but let's start a topic here. Again, this is a 60-second or less one, and I'm going to go to AM first here. Is Paolo Banchero the problem in Orlando? They're 24-22, 7th place. They got a nice win against Miami last night, but they're 4-6 in their last 10, and they are underachieving based on what really all of us said about them. And Tim McMahon of ESPN reports there's a lot of talk around the NBA that Paolo Banchero and Jamal Mosley might not be seeing eye to eye. So AM Pfeffer, 60 seconds. Is Paolo the problem in Orlando?
He's certainly not the solution. He's not the solution right now, and I don't expect him to be the solution in the future. So he is part of the problem. He's a big part of the problem for sure. Franz Wagner in and out of the lineup the way that he is because he's the best player on the team, and I think we've established that in previous conversations, isn't helping either. So, the team's not playing the team defense that they otherwise are known for and should be doing better at. Anthony Black has come along so nicely. Bane is very good. On certain nights, he's very good. But yeah, Banchero's he's not helping. His numbers are there, but they're just numbers. That's how he feels as a player right now. I hate to say it. Like, he's just not contributing the way you want him to be or bending the gravity to the game as the star player on the team. So yeah, he's a big part of the problem. Is he all of it? No. A lot of that should fall on the coaching staff. But he ain't helping.
Cool answer. All right, B-Dot, you are next, man. Is Paolo Banchero the problem in Orlando?
Man, look, I know he expressed frustration about, losing the love, for the game, because of the injuries and how the team's performing. They better be careful with Paolo, okay? They better be very careful, all right? All these trade talks, should we trade him? Man, Paolo is a hell of a player, okay? He's battling through injuries. We know that. I don't want to say, he's the problem in Orlando because he's their best player. I like Franz, but I mean, let's be real. When Paolo's on, he's doing his thing. The other night, he had what? Goddamn 30, 12, and 6. You feel me? So he has that potential to go crazy and be a very productive player. They better be very careful because you end up trading someone like Paolo away, he's gonna come back to bite you in your ass. And that's all I got to say. You trade him, who you getting back? Okay, you better get back somebody that's under 25, has all-star potential, and that's a 6'8" demigod. So I don't feel like Paolo's the problem. It's just Orlando Magic in general. They just got to figure it out. I don't think Paolo's the main problem at all, though.
Fantastic answer, and I agree that Paolo Banchero is their best player. AM and Dwight, I believe, and I can't remember if Dr. X, but Dr. X, I'm coming to you next. You confirm this up. I think you also thought Franz was better than Paolo or the number one guy in that team. But Dr. X, you're next. Is Paolo the problem in Orlando?
I don't think Paolo is a problem in Orlando. I think, honestly, he's a good young player. The success that they already have had in previous seasons, he was a part of that. And so you can't just exclude him now and just say, he's the issue. I think earlier in the year, Franz plays better within the system that Jamal Mosley has established. But with that system comes a lot of injuries because they play so hard. I don't think Paolo has, his injury timing hasn't been the best, unfortunately. But the success they have, you can't discount that. So all in all, I think I did pick Franz being the number one guy because of his success earlier in the season, and it seemed like Paolo was like still adjusting, and then he got that abdominal strain or I think he had an ankle injury the game they played the Knicks. So it was kind of hard to see how well he wasn't doing as well as he was last year. But all in all, no, I think Franz and Paolo need to be together, and they should probably just look at getting a better point guard.
Ooh, I like it. All right, so Dwight Walton, you are next, man. Is Paolo the problem in Orlando?
Just to piggyback off what my cousin ended his answer with, I think Paolo Banchero is a part of the solution going forward. What the Magic need is an experienced point guard or an experienced leader, an experienced voice in that locker room. To me, this is a classic case of two players, talking about Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. These are two young players trying to establish themselves and to try to be the number one guy. They just happen to be on the same team. I think Franz Wagner may be the better player overall in terms of his ability to get not only himself open, but to get his teammates involved. Paolo is lacking in that, but he will get better with more experience over time. And if you've noticed, the NBA is trending towards young, versatile, deep rosters. You don't want to get rid of one of the more up and coming younger talents that we currently have in the NBA. So Paolo is a part of the solution, not the problem in Orlando. And all this stuff about rifts between coaches and players always seem to come up just to make a story juicier. It's not the issue here. Paolo and Franz need to play together. That's what it is.
And unfortunately, when you get that report that Paolo and Mosley aren't seeing eye to eye, a lot of times it's the soft launch of the Shams bomb that, if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, that Orlando is moving on from Jamal Mosley, which I think would be a huge mistake. And we know that aspect of the business really sucks and it's dirty as hell. But this is kind of how this goes. But here's my answer, guys. Paolo is not the problem. He's down 4 points per game off of last year, but his efficiency is at a career high level. He's taking 4 fewer shots per game. Is that his fault? Okay, there's 2 things going on here. 1, injuries. Paolo, Franz, Bane, and Suggs have played like 3 minutes together all season, okay? If those 4 guys are healthy and cooking, this team's going to be badass. 2, the Magic changed their style of play dramatically to play faster than last year. Yes, the analytics department wins again, AM. They are up in pace from 29th last year to 17th this year, but at a major cost. They have fallen way off defensively. That's what they hung their hat on. That was the identity of this team. They were number 2 in defensive rating last year. Now they're 16. Offensively, they've gone from 27th in rating last year to 18. But they have the same exact net rating last year in there, and they're far worse in the standings. Why? Because you've lost your identity of defense. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I blame the nerds, AM, who overthink basketball way too much and are ruining our sport. Those damn analytic departments. Get off the floor. You shouldn't play. You've got a hangnail. You need to take a week off and load manage because less is more. And then, to Doc's point, we'll just slap a calf strain on it. It doesn't really matter what the injury is, Doc. Let's just call it a calf strain. Everybody's out with a freaking Doc, what is Evan Mobley out with right now? What is Evan Mobley out with?
Calf strain, probably.
Calf strain. What is Austin Reeves out with right now?
Calf strain.
A calf strain. I mean, dude, it's an epidemic.
He reported and deleted that Austin was supposed to play in Cleveland. He posted it, boom, Austin's supposed to play, then deleted it just like this. He's out with a calf injury. So what we got going on with Austin?
No. Dot. Don't do that, Dot. He's been out with the calf strain for a month. No, the reports. Listen again. As the Laker insider on this panel, Austin Reeves is due to come back, if not on one of these 3 games: the Wizards Friday, the Knicks Sunday, or the Nets on Tuesday. He will come back at some point, either at the end of this road trip or when they get back to Los Angeles. So there was a tease there, but he's been out with a calf since Christmas Day. So don't say that this magically happened on Wednesday before the Cavs game. It's not what happened.
The Lakers insider via Toronto. Hey, Jason and Kai, can we get a recording of Dwight's of disgust, and instead of the whistle at the end of the 60 seconds, that's the sound we hear? That would be great.
I like the whistle though. The whistle is hilarious.
I know
that is kind of good, but I love Dwight's disgust. Whatever it just gets.
Yeah, Joe. Hey, listen, Jason and Kai, you guys gave me 3 whistles, not 1. 3.
From one ref to another.
Yeah, it made you feel at home, right? All the whistle blowing as a ref.
Yeah, no
B-Dot,
kidding.
you were
Yes.
going to say something, man.
Oh, I was just saying, is this an audition to show other teams that, hey, yeah, I had a calf injury for the month, but I'm still good. I'm still Gucci. This is what I can do. And then we may not see him play for the Lakers after that, after the 5th. But I'm just asking. I'm just saying, I think they should keep Austin. I like Austin. I love Austin.
All right, so this came up in the group chat, and let's just do this right now. And let's do like a 30-second on this one. We don't need to spend a lot of time on this one, but we were debating in the group chat, Austin Reeves or Franz Wagner. I think you guys are overrating Franz Wagner. Kind of a lot, actually. Like, I like Franz Wagner. I don't love Franz Wagner. I do not think he's a number 1. I think he's a number 2, like maybe a number 3. Like, again, I like him. I'm not banging on him. But you guys, it just the way and the vibe, it's like, we're talking about an all-star here. And I'm not sure that, CJ McCollum's never made one all-star game, okay? Steve Smith only made one all-star game. It's hard, okay? I don't know. I don't know if he's ever going to be an all-star, okay? So I'll give you my answer here. I'd rather have Austin Reeves than Franz Wagner. I do admit, I think it's a good debate. I really do. And Austin Reeves is so slick and skilled with that rock, man. And we saw earlier, he scored 30 a game earlier. I just think there's a ton of upside in his game. I think there's more upside with Reeves than there was with Franz. I understand him sacrificing some height, but I'm also going with a guard and not a forward. And Austin Reeves is not a small dude, so I'll take Reeves over Franz. B-Dot, I go to you next. Franz or Reeves, who do you want to rock with?
I mean, it's a legit debate. 2 different type of players. I don't even want to say similar playing styles. Franz, of course, is the bigger guy, more defensive guy that people like to say. I don't think he's a rim protector at all. But let's be real. Not everyone can average 30 points with LeBron out, Luka out, on the West in a Lakers jersey. And that's all I got to say right there. That pressure right there, putting that pressure on Austin Reeves, Hillbilly Kobe, and he showed up. I'm going with Austin. I'm going with Austin. Okay. And he gets better every year. Not saying Franz doesn't, but yes, Austin gets better significantly. So I'm going to Reeves.
I like it. Dr. X, you're next. We got 2 votes for Austin Reeves. Are you going Reeves or Franz, Dr. X?
Well, honestly speaking, I think it comes down to the versatility of Franz Wagner because of his size. But I prefer to watch Austin Reeves. I like Austin Reeves' game better. I like his bag better. I think he's more talented offensively. But just the way the Orlando Magic's identity has been in terms of that hard-nosed defense and just being able to switch, I think he's a big part of that. And the fact that he can score on the other end, I think that's really good too. So I like his toughness better and his size better. I just feel like Austin, you could kind of like take advantage of him on the defensive end.
All great points. Okay, we get a vote for Franz. AM, I already know your answer, but of course we got to get it from you. Austin Reeves or Franz Wagner?
What's my answer?
You're going with the German.
I am.
6'10",
because to
rim
me,
protector.
No, yeah, you're right. By the way, I made a mistake in the way that I said that on the text chain, and I didn't really mean to say rim protector. I got out ahead of my skis. Versatile defender is where it is, guys. His individual rating for the 2024-25 season, when healthy, it's top 15 in the league. Okay, like show me where Austin Reeves is. You've got to be a two-way player in this league. If you're talking to me about who's the better player, it's got to be all-encompassing. Reeves is exciting. He's amazing. He made the leap. It's awesome watching him next to Luka. It's incredible to see some of the games that he's played this year. But Vagner is a two-way player. He's versatile. You can put him as a defender, as a 6'10" defender, literally on all 5 positions on the floor. That matters. And you're seeing what's happened to the Magic when they've lost their defensive capability. Rick, you mentioned it. And thank you for all the major close-ups of what's going on here. And the whistles. It's Franz Wagner. Across the board on both as a two-way player, it's Wagner.
We switching Austin and Wagner. We putting Wagner on them Lakers. What's the record? The record's better with Franz.
It might be defensively.
Their defense is definitely better, and there's some times where JJ Redick might not be pulling his hair out because he actually has a guy on the team who plays defense. and that he can match up against the other
Man,
team's best or second best player.
You guys are making it sound like Franz Wagner's Tony Allen out there. Like, I mean, this guy, he can defend. Like, I don't know. I'm not ready to call Franz a plus defender.
Hey,
like,
Rick, his individual defensive rating last year. Look at he's top of the league. He was top 15 of the league. Big names up there. All the defensive stars in the league, he's up there.
I get it, but when you're on a team, with the number 2 defensive rating, it goes hand in hand. I bet you a lot of other Orlando Magic players were very high in individual defensive rating as well. So I'm just busting stones over here. Like I watch Franz a lot, and I just don't see a plus defender. You know what I'm saying? Like I see a willing defender. I see a guy that competes. Like I like Franz, but I think you cats are overrating him a little bit, personally.
I'm sorry to say there was no other Magic last year in the top 25. He's the only one.
I would like to see his numbers. I would like to see those numbers against Western Conference offensive players that he defends. And when I say, and I'm talking about the superstars, the guys that if him and Austin switched, the guys he would have to be going up against every night. I want to see that defense rating against a Julius Randle, that defensive rating against Sengun, even though he's probably not guarding Sengun, then he got to guard KD.
How tall is he? How tall is Franz?
He's 6'10".
He's 6'10".
6'10" or legit or 6'9"?
Yes, legit.
Around there.
See, and that's another point, Rick. That's another point. I think Orlando Magic needs to value the fact that they have both Banchero and Franz Wagner, because this is what the Celtics went through with Tatum and Brown.
Great call.
And they got a championship. So, but these two dudes are 6'10", and they know how to guard. So it's really who they surround them with, and maybe the coach needs to do some adjustment. But I like Mosley for now. They just got to figure it out.
I dig it, guys. I dig it. All right. Where do I want to go here with my homies here?
Wait, did you ask everybody the question?
I didn't get mine.
Oh, Dwight, I'm sorry. Dwight, okay, so Austin Reeves or Franz Wagner, my bad.
Thanks, cuz. No, listen, to Dot's point, and AM, thank you for the defensive rating of Franz Wagner. And he is 6'10", and he's been great internationally, having Germany as the European champion and having them scare everybody at the Olympics. The German national team, along with Dennis Schroeder, is in case in point because of Franz Wagner's versatility on both ends of the floor. But anytime you can average 20 points per game and you have LeBron and Doncic on your team, and now he's averaging 30 when LeBron didn't play the first 15 games, I'm going to give it to Austin Reeves.
Wow. Austin Reeves won this debate. I did not think that was going to happen. He just won this debate 3-2. All right. AR's catching a win here today. And frankly, Franz Wagner's catching a big. I mean, this is an absolute love fest for Franz Wagner. You guys are the captains of the Franz Wagner fan club. You're driving his bandwagon. I love it. All right. Let's do a 60-second clock on this one. And Dwight, I want to keep you rolling here. And apologies for getting a little out of order there. All right. The question is, guys, and I'll set it up and then go to Dwight. You guys can start the clock. Jason Tatum, underrated or overrated? All right. Jay, are you guys ready to laugh? Because this is kind of a funny quote from Jason Tatum. He said he would already have a statue if he played for the Grizzlies. I didn't know that Jason Tatum had jokes, but he does, like B-Dot, okay? He says, the career I have now, if I had it with the Grizzlies, I would have a statue outside the arena right now. That's from the Pivot podcast. We also get this pessimistic report about Jason Tatum's return from a torn Achilles. And I'm really only saying this for our audience, just, in case you missed this, but it's an important newsy element in a part of Tatum's story, not this particular question. So Tatum told ESPN yesterday he has not made a decision about whether he's going to return from a torn Achilles tendon this season. Because he wants to get it right the first time. So just a lot to think about. NBA TV yesterday reported that Tatum was reevaluating his situation and considering sitting out the full season. Tatum, of course, suffered the injury in May. It's been progressing very well. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we got I'm ready. We had Tatum's father talking about him coming back. Shams has mentioned February, March, or April. So this is confusing to me. Maybe he's just in his own head. And I know that ball players, I'm an ACL sufferer, but not at a pro level like this. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. And so there's a hurdle that all ball players coming off of a significant injury have to get over. And this is what that hurdle looks like. So I sincerely hope that he's perfectly ready and cleared and can come back this year, but that does muddy the situation a little bit. All right, to the question, and Dwight Walton, you first. Is Jason Tatum overrated or underrated?
Jason Tatum is grossly underrated. I think he's underappreciated. I think he has been in competition with his teammate Jaylen Brown, who I know quietly Jaylen Brown thinks he's better than Jason Tatum. And I think he was relishing the opportunity to play without his teammate Jason Tatum this year, and justifiably so. He's in the MVP conversation and has been fantastic. I think Jason Tatum, in my opinion, should have won the MVP of the NBA Finals. I'll give Jaylen Brown the crown for Eastern Conference Finals MVP, but I think Jason Tatum was the MVP. I think Jaylen Brown benefited from Jason Tatum's presence on the court against the Dallas Mavericks in those finals. And I think there's a certain narrative out there to where parts of the media just doesn't like the demeanor or the aggressiveness of Jason Tatum at times. And I think that's played into it. I just think Tatum is grossly underrated.
I love the answer, man. Dr. X, you are next. Is Jason Tatum overrated or underrated?
I think he's properly rated, number one, but I think he's underappreciated. An example of that is the whole Steve Kerr thing. I think a lot of times people have always put Jason Tatum above Jaylen Brown, except for the Finals MVP. I think he's always, got the nod as the best player, and there's always been debates, but ultimately Jason Tatum seems to get all the accolades and all the other cool awards. I mean, he was the one that made Team USA. I know there was some issue potentially with Nike, which is why Jaylen Brown probably didn't go to Team USA. But I think he's properly rated, but because of his personality, he's underappreciated. So I think he's trying to advocate for himself now. And so when he says things like this, he's not necessarily wrong. I think he probably would have a statue in Memphis because that was a good example. I think that he's correct. It's just that people hate to hear it, but he is ranked above. I mean, he's right up there with Larry Bird in terms of a lot of the Celtic records. And, Larry Bird is a very beloved Celtic player. So right there you got it.
So I love the point that Tatum has to go to bat for himself. And it may seem disingenuous to some people, but I'll use your guys' words and give you my take in a minute, but the fact that he is underappreciated or underrated is why he has to resort to that. A lot of players just get flowers heaped on them and they don't have to sort of grandstand for themselves or take up for themselves. Jason Tatum does. And this is a first ballot Hall of Famer, unlike your boy Bill Belichick. All right, B-Dot, you are next here, man. Is Jason Tatum overrated or underrated?
Jason Tatum is underrated and honestly disrespected. And the crazy part is, it's because he's too consistent. We live in an era, where loud equals great. If you scream, pound your chest, or hijack possessions, you get praise. Jason Tatum quietly scores 28 a night, defend multiple positions, rebound, pass, and win. And now he's overrated. Like, make it make sense. NBA, all NBA first teams, Boston Celtics deep run since he became a Boston Celtic. And he shows up every night, but somehow he's not that guy. I think Jason, his biggest flaw is that his greatness isn't dramatic. He doesn't dominate the ball. He doesn't chase moments. He plays scalable basketball, and that's the kind that actually wins championships. So if he drops 30, they say that's what he's supposed to do. If he has an off night, they say he's not elite. That's not analysis. That's bias. You feel me? Jason Tatum is people get confused because he's reliable. They get confused with reliability with replaceability, and that's wild. Because at the end of the day, two-way wings who score defense, stay healthy, and win at this level, they don't grow on trees. That's not overrated. That's elite. He's just not loud. So
excellent. Excellent. AMFF for your next. Jason Tatum, overrated or underrated?
This is an interesting question to me, and I love Doc's answer. I think he's properly rated. When I think of Jason Tatum, like in the basketball zeitgeist, he's like top 5 of the conversations. He's always part of the fabric. He's incredible. And I think the fact that there was some sort of scandal involving what happened to him on the 2024 Olympics and obviously passed over for the MVPs in the finals and all of that just shows how well he's rated and properly rated. Like I think of Tatum, like he's incredible. He's amazing. He's always part of the conversation. And I understand his personality and this and that, but like, he's phenomenal. Anybody who knows basketball is not underrating Jason Tatum. The only 2 teams or people that I could say have underrated Jason Tatum are the Philadelphia 76ers and the Los Angeles Lakers, because they both passed on him in the 2017 draft. Other than that, he's absolutely properly rated. He's phenomenal. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I love him. I'm so missing him this year.
Yeah, me too.
And you know,
I hope
Rick,
he comes back. Yeah, what's up?
He got paid. He never did. He got paid what he was supposed to be paid. He was also one of the highest paid players at the time when he was supposed to be. And so at least he got.
That's such a great point. And there was no posturing about it. There was no back and forth or concern that he wasn't going to get paid. He got paid. Boston was like, oh yeah.
And Jaylen Brown got paid. So I'm really happy with both of them. I think it's perfect.
Just looking at it from a fan's point of view, I think like AM said, if you know basketball, you know that Jason Tatum is rated in the basketball world what he's supposed to be. But just looking at it from just a fan standpoint, how media treats him, take it away, Rick.
That was
I like everything you guys are saying. Dot, I use the same word you use, disrespected. And I do think he's underrated, but he's the most disrespected player in our sport. He's a top 10 talent, but get benched in front of the world by Steve Kerr, a.k.a. Colonel Kurtz at the Olympics. Unconscionable, super disrespectful. Jason Tatum lost finals MVP to Jaylen Brown despite a 22-8-7 stat line. He lost East Finals MVP to Jaylen Brown despite a 30-10-6 stat line for that series. How do you not win an award going 30-10-6? That's what Giannis does every night. Remember the 2024 ESPYs? Coming off of the chip, Jason Tatum was snubbed for best NBA player for Luka Doncic, who Tatum beat in the NBA Finals. Make it make sense. Tatum is a future first ballot Hall of Famer, guys. In 8 years in the league, not including this one, 8 years, 6 All-Stars, 5 All-NBAs, and he's 27 years old. He's at 13,784 points. He will approach 30,000 points. I don't know if he'll get quite that high, but he will approach that number. And I think he's the most disrespected player in our sport. So let's talk. Kevin Willis obviously is not going to work out today, guys, and it's the way it goes sometimes. But we'll try to get him on in a future episode. So let's do one more topic here, and then we'll do our roundtable rant. We'll say goodbye to the people and wish everybody a great weekend. So let's talk Super Bowl here a little bit. Not like nitty gritty, but we'll keep it kind of open canvas for you right here. And we have a huge Super Bowl watch party coming up on Super Bowl Sunday, of course. You don't even need the date. Everybody knows what day that is, okay? February 8th, I think it is anyway. But we're going to have a huge live watch party, okay? You guys hang out with us, basically, and we'll watch the Super Bowl together and have a good time. But we're coming up on Super Bowl Sunday with a watch party from our LA studios, and we're very excited about that. By the way, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would really appreciate that. So let's go no timer on this because we're good on time here. What's the better story, guys? What's the better story, the Patriots or the Seahawks? Who's got the better story heading into the Super Bowl? Dwight Walton, you're first.
I'm a Sam Darnold fan. I like the resiliency that he has shown throughout his career. We're talking about AM's Jets once again, how he was not coached well during his Jets tenure. Then he went to the Carolina Panthers, where things didn't go well there either. And then I think he had some success with Kyle Shanahan when he was the backup quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, and then was given the keys to the car when he played for the Minnesota Vikings. And he has won 30 games over the past 2 years. Fans and media alike are waiting for the shoe to drop when it comes to Sam Darnold. And although he had a great NFC champion NFC championship game, people are still going to be skeptical until he plays great in the Super Bowl. I understand that the Patriots didn't make the playoffs last year. Mike Vrabel is one of a handful of coaches to take over a team after not making the playoffs and getting them all the way to the Super Bowl. I respect that. Drake May is definitely in the MVP conversation. I think Matthew Stafford will win that award. Of course, we're talking about Stephon Diggs and the resurgence that he's had this season with the Patriots. But I'm just a Sam Darnold fan. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for the Seahawks. I just want him to play well so he can shut those naysayers up out there, because we're treating him as if he's 38 years old on the back nine of his career. He's 28 years old. He's figured it out over the last 2 years. Again, 30 wins as opposed to 7 losses. And I believe he is the first quarterback out of his draft class that includes Josh Allen and a host of others to get to the Super Bowl. I'm happy for him. I think it continues. I'll be rooting for him to win the Super Bowl in the next 10 days.
All right. So Dwight says the Seattle Seahawks, and I'll write that down. B-Dot, you're next, man. Best story, Patriots or Seahawks heading into the Super Bowl?
I love Sam Darnold and his story that he has he has come from, with the Jets. But I just think it's the Patriots. They just have more of a storyline in terms of Drake May being in his second year, making a Super Bowl. Mike Vrabel first year coaching the Patriots, they're making the Super Bowl. All the ongoing off-field problems with Stephon Diggs, they counted him out, and he's still 1,000-yard season. Been a very pivotal person in that locker room, very mature person that we haven't seen in a very long time with Stephon Diggs. Henderson, the rookie running back, having a hell of a year, taking over that number one spot. The defensive coordinator, Terrell Williams, turned that Patriots defense into what it is today. I think it's the Patriots. And the reason why I say that, with all of that being said, it's hard to get out of that. It's hard to get out of that shadow of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and they've done that. They're working their way. If not, they've done that. They've made a name for themselves without having to say, "Oh, well, this is Bill Belichick's old team. Oh, well, Tom Brady used to play for the Patriots." Like, no, these guys are in the Super Bowl. They have a great chance of winning it, and I just think it's the New England Patriots for me.
A bunch of excellent points. I love the one you made right there about it. And one of my truisms is it's basically impossible to replace a legend. Okay. The Yankees still haven't replaced Jeter. The Dolphins still haven't replaced Marino. Okay. You think about, guys like that, right? And it didn't take 10, 12 years. They're back in the Super Bowl like 2-3 years after firing Belichick. That's an outstanding point. All right. AM Pfeffer, you are next here, my friend. Best story, Seahawks or Patriots heading into the Super Bowl?
Yeah, look, I'm big enough even as a Jets fan to tell you that the Patriots story is great. It's awesome. But it's also a little rote in my opinion. Like Vrabel, okay, so you got rid of Gerard Mayo after you made a mistake. You talked about for years that he was going to be the successor to Belichick. He was. It was clearly a mistake when he got in the chair, and then you brought the adult in the room, and guess what? You guys are in the Super Bowl, right? A little bit of luck has been attributed to this because I think if you had to go into Denver and Knicks was the quarterback and it wasn't this ridiculous blizzard, you might not have won that game. But again, power to the Patriots. Like, it is a good story. The Diggs part of the story is great. They had a good defense, and after the Tom Brady era, they're back in the Super Bowl. So it's a cool story. But the Seattle Seahawks have way more going on. And you guys already mentioned Darnold. Of course, there's the big part of it, and we can go deep into that. But to me, it's even bigger than that. Like, Russell Wilson only left this team in March 2022 on that trade. And then it was like Pete Carroll having to decide between Drew Lock and Geno Smith, and Smith won out the job, if you remember all of that, and then Carroll finally got fired. You bring in Mike McDonald, and you don't know what you're getting out of him, right? Like, you know what you're getting out of Vrabel. That's my point. Like, the adult came into the room and you made it back into the playoffs and you coasted into the Super Bowl. But Mike Macdonald was like a defensive guru coordinator, and there he is proving that he is this incredible coach and turn this defense around into the number one defense in the league. I mean, depending on how you view them compared to the Houston Texans. Other than that, like, then there's the Darnold of this all, right? Like, he shakes loose out of Minnesota. You're smart enough to snap him up, and Macdonald brings him along throughout the year the way that he had. You get rid of DK Metcalf, and JSN steps into the role. There's so much going on in Seattle with this story, especially with the idea that, like, you thought if you moved off of Russ Wilson, that was it. This is going to take forever to reload. And look where they got. And by the way, let's not forget Darnold's ghost against Los Angeles Rams. That team is his kryptonite, and he overcame them this year twice, especially in this last game, and brought them to the Super Bowl. Like, to me, there's 8 to 10 storylines going on with the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's way, way, way cooler, a way better story all around. Though, again, I do want to admit that the Patriots also have a cool story.
It's a good debate. Good little debate right here. You guys are making outstanding points. We have 2 bets, 2 picks for the Seahawks, 1 for the Patriots. Dr. X, it is your time to shine. Which of these teams present the better story entering the Super Bowl, Patriots or Seahawks?
Well, I like both of their stories for all the points that the guys just made, but my pick would be, honestly speaking, Sam Darnold. The fact that they counted him out and people have been kind of waiting, as Dwight was saying, for the shoe to drop. But the fact that he's, continuing to prove the doubters wrong, that's something I can get behind. I think with the, New England Patriots, it's kind of nice that they came out of nowhere. People weren't expecting them. They arrived where their destination is a little ahead of schedule. So that's nice. And so you won't feel bad if they lose, because it's like, you guys weren't supposed to be here. You're a second-year quarterback, you're a first-year coach. So that's, if they don't win, it's going to be, it'll be a great story if they win too. But I think for Sam Darnold, everybody loves the underdog story. And the fact that he's been winning, and the way he's been winning has been proving all the doubters wrong. So I think, it's like you're watching a movie, rags to riches type of thing, and a comeback story. So I think Sam Darnold has definitely, if I were to make it into a movie, I would do the Sam Darnold story.
Okay, I like it. Coming to a big screen near you. By the way, I haven't been to a movie theater in like 5 years, and I was all sick, right? I had to get out of the house one night. I went to see the new zombie movie that was out, and I got some popcorn, and they put the butter on it, and I'm in the theater, and I'm like, oh, what is that smell? And I thought it was like mildew left over from the hurricane in the movie theater or whatever. I'm like, what is this smell? It was the butter. Okay. And I didn't realize it because I got my money back. I'm like, the theater smells. I can't do it. I didn't realize it was the popcorn until I left with the popcorn. I'm out of my car, and I wasn't a jerk about it, but I'm just like, I can't do it. I just got to get my money back. And they were very cool about it. But I take the popcorn out to my car, probably like a freaking $10 thing of popcorn. And I'm like, oh, what is that smell? It's the popcorn. It's the butter. All right. So I go back inside, and I got my money back for the popcorn too. But I mean, anyway, random tangent. I just want to tell you guys that story. Watch out for movie theater butter. Okay. I mean, they poured some damn salmonella over my popcorn. It was crazy. I'm like, well, what are we doing here? Get out of here. I don't need salmonella popcorn. I just need some buttery popcorn, but I got none of it. All right. Anyway, all right. So the Seahawks are catching a win here. They win it 3-2, but I vote for the Patriots here as the best story. Drake May in the Super Bowl in year 2, just like Tom Brady. Kind of cool how history mirrors there. Joe Burrow, Kurt Warner, Ben Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, Dan Marino, all guys to make the Super Bowl in their second year. May's on that list. Pretty cool. When you're on that list, you're a beast, okay? And to do what Drake May did in year 2 is just freaking phenomenal. And to be here, it's very, very Joe Burrow-ish, right? None of this is surprising to me, guys, and I've said this many, many times. I loved Drake May at North Carolina, mesmerized by his talents. I compared him to Aaron Rodgers. I was completely sold on him being an 8 to 10-time Pro Bowler while watching him at North Carolina. And yes, that was pre-Belichick, because Belichick might have ruined this young stud. Stephon Diggs in the Super Bowl with Cardi B for the first time in his Hall of Fame career in his first season with the Patriots. That's an awesome story. I saved the best for last, Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel was a linebacker for the Patriots during their dynasty days in the early 2000s, winning in 2001, 3, and 4, okay? At the height of Bill Belichick's cheating, okay? And Mike Vrabel was on the team for all 3 of those championships. So he has proven himself to be a great coach. He's Harbaugh level. He's Tomlin level. He's that freaking good. I love Mike Vrabel. He got fired by the poopy Titans, who are completely dumbasses as always, hired by his old boss, Robert Kraft, which the entire world knew was a match made in heaven, like when Derrick Henry went to the Ravens, right? Who didn't love that move, and who didn't think that was going to work? Home run. Vrabel brings a badass culture to the Patriots and made some significant roster upgrades. Bam, you're back in the Super Bowl. And check this out. The Patriots just had the hardest run to the Super Bowl in NFL history. And it's glass half full or half empty. You could say, well, they played Jarrett Stidham and not Bo Nix. But this is what I know. The Patriots beat 3 of the top 5 defenses in the NFL, 3 playoff games to make this Super Bowl. Nobody's ever done that before, okay? Also, Mike Vrabel is the first guy to start a Super Bowl for a team and then be the head coach of that same team, which I also think is really, really cool. So let's go around the table here with a rant. B-Dot, you always go last. So I'll get us started here, guys, and maybe you guys can piggyback or kind of maybe add a comment afterward. But I want to talk about Jalen Tyson. Okay, first of all, he's one of the most improved players in the league. Took the charge on LeBron last first down point. I thought that was so dope, dude. Feel yourself, Jalen Tyson. Let's go. All right. So this rant goes out to all the whiners, and you know who you are. The whiners who were banging on Jalen Tyson last night for disrespecting LeBron James. So, guys, back it up. Let's rerun this here, but this is the sound you guys need to hear.
This could be potentially LeBron's last game in this building. How would you characterize his impact on this city and franchise? Well, you could say something, too.
This is Donovan Mitchell City now. When he come back here, we're going to make sure that everybody does him like they did for him. So this is his stuff. This is his city.
Yes, sir, Jalen.
Jen, after the game, you were on the ESPN interview, and you said it was asked, about the moment, and you said this is now Donovan Mitchell City. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Why do you think the changing the guard has happened?
Yeah, I mean, there was no disrespect there. I didn't want to disrespect or step on nobody's toes. Like, that's one of the greatest players that ever played the game. Obviously, I was a Cavs fan growing up because of him, right? I didn't want to take away him, but I just wanted to get Don his flowers. That was my biggest goal in it. And if I offended anybody or anybody got mad about it, I'm sorry. I take it personally.
Jalen. I love this young fella. If these asshats knew what they were talking about, instead of just whining and knee-jerk flailing around like a fish in a boat, he disrespected LeBron James, how dare him? Who's Jalen Tyson to say that? Sit down, okay? This is ridiculous. This shouldn't even be a story, okay? If these asshats knew what they were talking about, they would know that Jalen Tyson's favorite player growing up was LeBron James. They talked about it on the broadcast. He just mentioned it there. He loves LeBron James. He wore his jersey as a young fella, the whole thing, okay? Tyson was gassing up his teammate after a big win. The Cavaliers are playing the best ball they've played all season right now, okay? They're suddenly hot. That's it. That's all he was doing. He was showing some personality, some confidence, some swagger. Don't we want players to do that? The answer is yes and no. Yes, legitimate journalists, old media, me, on our panel as well, because you guys rock, you get it. Old media, all right? We want as much of that as we can get because it's interesting, okay? In an otherwise mundane world of NBA sound bites. But new media sucks. And new media is a huge part of cancel culture. blowing the whistle, getting outraged when the smallest little thing happens, jumping to conclusions without all of the facts. How often does that happen? Throwing crappy hot takes against the wall, hoping for great. That's new media, Draymond Green. Jalen Tyson did not need to apologize, but he handled the apology a lot better than Draymond would have. Has Draymond ever even apologized for anything? But Jalen, I got your back. You did not need to apologize, but the way you did it was super classy. And so if you guys want to opine on that, but that's my rant.
I love it. I love it. I'm a Tyson fan in general because every time I put him on my parlay this year, he's hit overly. and it's just a young guy believing in his leader. I don't think it was no disrespect. He was letting people know, like, yeah, all right, LeBron, we love you and all, but you're not here no more, okay? No disrespect. We know this is your city when you're in town, but when you're going, this is Donovan Mitchell's city, and I don't think he meant it as a disrespect. He's just hyping up his leader and a player that has been the most consistent player on that Cavaliers team. And I think young guy in the moment. Do your thing, Dwight.
Look, they got an ass hat. Did you see that? They had an ass hat at the bottom of it. Well done, Jason and Kai. Oh, that's perfect right here. That's perfect. I love that. That is so cool. Dwight, go ahead.
You know what, Rick and Dot? I'll be the first to say that I was the one whining and crying when I originally heard him say it. But after seeing his response in his press conference and how he handled it, it's again, and of course, to find out that he is a LeBron James fan and was a Cavs fan growing up, has his jersey, all of that played into it. So after the explanation, I am going to scale back my reaction. I was reactionary off the initial response to George Sedano. I fully admit that. But after, recusing myself, relaxing myself, and seeing his response at his presser, I apologized to him. He handled it greatly. Very impressed for a guy that's 21 years old, 20 years old. I think he handled it masterfully. Much credit to you, Jalen Tyson. I apologize. It was a spur-of-the-moment response on my behalf. I take it back. My apologies to Jalen Tyson.
See, that was way better than any apology Draymond could do, too. Well done, Dwight. Well done. All right, Dwight, do you have a rant? We'll keep you rolling here. You got a rant for us?
No, there's no rant, but I want to go back to what you said, Rick, about being able to advance the basketball in college basketball. I've been on this train for the past 5 to 10 years where I just think the FIBA rules should be universal across the board in basketball. I think the coaches are way too involved in the collegiate game to where the shot clock is at 30 seconds. You could reverse the ball around the perimeter 10 times, it feels like, before taking a shot. You're watching the coach on the sideline, directing traffic, telling the player to go here, to go there. Being able to call a timeout on the floor, I think it's too easy. It gets players out of trouble. In FIBA, once you hand that ball, check that ball to the player can't call timeout if they can't inbounds the basketball. The coach can't call a timeout. You can't call timeout if you're being double teamed in the backcourt. Once the ball is in play, you have to play it out. The players have to decide what's going on. Also, I would love to see the NBA bring in a rule to where a technical foul counts as a personal foul. If you do that, you will see the whining come down exponentially. I do understand that you don't want to put players in foul trouble because the fans come to watch their favorite player. I get that. But when you consistently see a Draymond Green, a Luka Doncic, a Chris Paul when he was playing, a LeBron James, all the players that whine towards officials, if you tee them up and it counts as a personal foul, I guarantee you guys the technical fouls and the whining will come down exponentially. I just think, in general, basketball should go to FIBA rules across the board. Once If there's a turnover in the backcourt, it goes to 14 seconds, not the full 24, the way it does in the NBA. I think it will increase scoring, and I think the onus will be put on the players to make decisions as opposed to the coaches. Being able to call timeout when you're trapped in the backcourt, all that kind of stuff, I hate that. I hate seeing it. Just go FIBA across the board, and I think basketball will improve overall.
Bravo, bravo. Expertise from an actual referee who's paid to blow that whistle. AM Pfeffer, it's rant time for you, my friend.
You know, I appreciate it, but I don't have anything to get off my chest. If anything, I got to tell you guys, I feel so good right now. I don't know what it is about like this time of year, but we're a month removed from the holidays, a month removed from New Year's. We're into the swing of the year. You know, the Super Bowl is next week. The NBA All-Star game a week after that. You're all coming here to be in this studio with me, and I'm like super excited about that. I've got like Southern California feeling and vibe. I mean, the rest of the country is going through yet another bomb cyclone, and I'm wearing my Huntington Beach shirt, one of the most underrated locations in Southern California. Let me tell you, like, I love spending time in the summer there. The surf championships are there, and if you've never seen that live, it is very cool. Trust me. I don't know. I feel great. I really do. Like, I just like, things are just, it's a good vibe. I love the show. I love seeing you. I love all the things that we're doing together, guys. And that's my rant. I want to throw out some positivity, man. I'm feeling awesome today.
Love and light. Spread it. Throw it around. Give it. Oh man, that's cool, man. That's cool. Happiness is pretty cool, isn't it? I hear a lot of happiness coming from AM.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil McDonald, aka Dr. X. Anything to get off your chest? Do you need a cathartic moment here? What's going on? It's your time, man.
Well, I like what I saw yesterday by the Knicks, but I think the story of the night was Mikal Bridges. I just want to give him his flowers and commend him for swallowing his pride, or not necessarily pride, but having self-awareness. And I don't even know if it may have been sarcasm, because some people were saying he might have been repeating people's words that were in the, the group meeting or whatever, because he used the word, I wasn't coachable, or he said entitlement, maybe I had some entitlement, and that's the reason why he had a good game. However, hopefully it's not too late, because it'd be nice to keep some of our talent on the roster, and I understand the whole Nova Knicks thing and all that other stuff, but I think ultimately speaking, he only missed 3 shots. That's not a normal game for anyone. You were hot. So like, what happens next game? And it's gonna be a lot of pressure on Saturday. I think Friday night, tomorrow night, because they're playing the Portland Trailblazers, and that's the team that people are linking to this whole Knicks Giannis Antetokounmpo trade as a team that can help with getting the picks back. And so I'm hoping that, although I love that Mikal Bridges was very open and honest about, I guess he was caught off guard, but he shared a lot. And for him to say he wasn't coachable, he wasn't coachable, maybe he felt entitled. I just want to know a little bit more about that. The fact that he shared it with us, I kind of want to delve a little bit deeper where that was coming from. Was it laced in sarcasm, or was it truly an honest, self-aware moment? And, I hope people don't have to go through this to finally play consistently. And it may be, from the person that triggered in my mind, which I put in the group chat, was he didn't look too happy when they benched him in the Cup game at the end, like the last couple of minutes. And I think they rolled with Kolek and Jordan Clarkson. And he seemed like he was happy, but he also seemed like, who knows, I probably would have got a clutch shot too. I probably could have helped the team in some way. And then I don't know if that's why, and then the amount of dribbles, I saw that other thing before. I know we posted a thing about what I said about Jalen Brunson in terms of the ball, getting away from the ball movement. And I think ultimately the amount of dribbles that Jalen Brunson does per game, that's just his game. But I'm starting to think now maybe he was deferring to Jalen Brunson, and maybe that's why, Jalen Brunson only had like 13 shots. Obviously, he shouldn't be shooting up 13 shots a game. It should be like more about 17 shots a game. But it was a blowout, which led to him getting that amount of shots. And then once it got to that point, Jalen Brunson needed to come back in the game. But I just wonder if it was Mikal Bridges deferring to Jalen Brunson, and some people were saying, is he casting a little shade about, some people are not being coachable? He's saying, well, here it is. I'm being coachable, and maybe I felt entitled, but maybe there's some other players that need to have a, as they would put it, a come to Jesus moment or a humble moment and see where this Knicks team can go. That being said, a lot of people in the chat are hilarious, or in the comments on that post with Mikal Bridges, they were saying that it's a little too late. I hope it's not, and I hope they can figure it out. But February 1st is on Sunday when they play the Lakers, and Saturday is when they play the Portland Trail Blazers. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to Mikal Bridges, and I wish him the best, and I think he's a good player, but, everything can't be perfect, and hopefully it works out for him.
Hey, Doc, I was watching last night. A really, really plucky win by your Knicks at Toronto, who had a 12-point lead. Matt Devlin and Alfred Williams were feeling themselves. And then third quarter half, I mean, you guys kicked their butts in the second half of that game. Anyway, I thought Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby were absolutely fantastic in their Bucks additions last night, Doc.
Yeah, exactly. See, there you go. And those are the type of comments that I'm like laughing, and the little Grinch in me is like, happy about it, because I'm just like, hey, whatever it all means, as long as they keep Brunson and as long as they keep Hart, it's all good. But people are people. People are human, and I always want people to have a chance to prove themselves. It just seems like it's a little too late, and hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully he gets to stay, and they figure it out. But whatever.
Cuz, sorry, Rick. I just want to ask my cousin a question here.
Yeah, no, good. It's good. By the way, Bridges will be a Buck by next Wednesday or Thursday. Go ahead, Dwight.
Okay, so
Trailblazer, actually. It's a Trailblazer. It's a Trailblazer.
So this is my question for you, Cuz, or for the panel, for that matter. Do you think if Antetokounmpo goes to the Knicks next week, they can win a championship this season?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they have I think they have a better chance to win a championship than currently constructed. Yes.
Yes.
Based on
Brunson
what,
needs help, because he needs a player that can consistently do what he does without impacting Brunson's game. Giannis can get 30 and 15 without shooting 20 shots. He can shoot 15, 17 shots.
And Giannis is faking injury to prepare himself for the Knicks right now.
Oh,
exactly.
Another reason why.
Exactly. He's resting right now.
He's going to be all rested up.
And Dwight, Giannis, he's so good defensively. Again, like we love to talk about defense and
he's
really
better
touch
than
on
Franz.
it a little bit, but like
he's better than Franz.
He's better than Franz. That's for damn sure. Like he is so good defensively when necessary, and you don't get that from Cat. You don't get that from anybody really on the Knicks, or not enough, but you're certainly not getting it from Cat. Like or Poe, as you know, I like to call him now. Yes, if Giannis comes to the Knicks, they could absolutely win a championship this year. Yes.
But who are you giving up to get him?
OG and Mikal.
Again, it's a larger conversation.
You just have to be creative. There's enough players that will probably be dropped from the roster that are playing in Europe, that are playing G League. I mean, Dink Pate, I'd rather throw him in the fire right now. 6'8" point guard that can score the ball, that can pass the ball, and is young.
Who's this?
I would throw him in the fire. Dink Pate for the Westchester Knicks, who might be going back to college, but the Knicks have been playing him. He's one of the youngest players in the G League. This guy is 6'8" point guard. Look him up.
The Knicks.
Pate. You know who he is, right?
The
You
Knicks.
know who Dink Pate is.
The Knicks don't have the assets that the Bucks want. I don't understand where this is coming from.
Have you not seen the post in the group chat? They're gonna bring in a third team and possibly a fourth team.
I'm not buying into that. I'm not.
No, Dwight, by the way, Dwight, I'm with you. Doc, I hate to say it. Like, I don't see the Knicks as players in this. I don't see the Knicks getting Giannis. I'm just trying to answer your question directly. If the Knicks get Giannis Antetokounmpo, are they championship contenders? Yes. But like,
No.
at the end of the day, I don't see them being the ones winning this sweepstakes.
Right, but the thing is, if you're giving up Mikal and OG to get Giannis, I'm sorry, you are
Don't
not
give up OG.
championship contenders.
Don't give up OG Anunoby. You got to figure it out.
OG gets the finish line every year. He never makes it to the end of the year.
He never makes it
I'm
to the
sorry.
year.
Hamstring
The
injuries.
Knicks,
I don't like the hamstring.
the Knicks do not have the assets to be
By
in
any
the
means
Antetokounmpo
necessary.
They really
stage.
don't.
They
That's
don't.
all it is. I'd rather them have a. I just think even if they don't win it, I'd rather a player like Giannis, who I know who's going to give his all, who's going to be there for the long haul. He wants to be in the Knicks. He always want that. A superstar, probably the best player.
Who said that? Who said that?
I just
Phil?
feel like I said it. I just feel like it'd be nice to build with Brunson and Giannis. We'll figure it out. Even if it's not this year, at least years to come. I'd rather that team than the frustration I'm dealing with right now.
Yes, in the summertime. Yes.
Well, whenever it is, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, if we can get them now, then get them now. There's no reason to delay it. If they say no, then fine. They'll just have a harder time doing what they should be doing right now. So that's what
if the Knicks make that deal, it's 2010 Carmelo Anthony all over again.
It's not because Leon Rose wasn't with the Knicks. It was Phil Jackson drafting players like Frank Ntilikina. And so they did a horrible job surrounding Carmelo Anthony, and they also messed up their future. And I'm not sure if it was Donnie Walsh or if it was both Donnie Walsh and Phil Jackson. But regardless, getting Melo wasn't the issue. It was how they built around Melo that was the issue.
No, they had to give up half the roster to get Melo. Are you kidding? Go look back at that trade.
I'm not kidding. I think they just didn't do a good job of surrounding him. They should have traded Amari Stoudemire when they had a chance and got some other assets that would have been better.
If you gave up OG and Mikal, and I don't, maybe Milwaukee's going to send Trent back to New York or something like that, but your starting lineup's going to be Cat, Giannis, Hart, Brunson. I don't know who the fifth guy is going to be, honestly. But I'm not really that. I'm with Doc. I'm not really
Mitchell
that concerned
Robinson.
about that. It could be. It could. Well, boy, is that a skyscraper front line with Mitch, Rob, and Cat and Giannis. Can Giannis play the three? But I don't know. The bottom line is, I would cash in OG and Mikal, who are both on gigantic contracts, by the way, for Giannis. I would do that. I would do that. All right. So B-Dot, it's your rant, baby. Let's go.
I mean, just say a quick about the whole Cat. I mean, the Giannis going to NY thing. I mean, it'd be dope for media. It'd be dope for Giannis's marketability. I can see a whole Coming to America theme. If I'm the Knicks, I'm already coming up with Coming to America. I'm so very happy to be here. Like, it's so much stuff that you can do it. But in terms of them being NBA champion contender, in the East. But I mean, what's the difference between Jalen Brunson and Damian Lillard? Jalen dribbles more. Damian was doing it in less dribbles, and they're similar type players, need the ball in the hand, score first. So it'll be interesting to see whatever piece they put around there. But yes, baby, I gotta do my rant.
Give me the phone. I'm trying to fall.
Here you go, baby. Here you go. You got the light. Bam, go crazy. All right, my rant. Let's go ahead and get into it, okay? NBA All-Star Weekend is a scam. The NBA All-Star Weekend is the biggest lie in sports, not the dunk contest. The whole weekend. This used to be where the best hoopers in the world showed pride. Now it's just a fashion week with basketball breaks. Nobody wants to play defense. Nobody wants to dunk. Everybody managing their body like they're 47 years old with 2 bad knees and a mortgage. The dunk contest? You got to beg players to participate like it's jury duty. Oh, I don't want to risk injury. Bro, you play 82 games diving into people's legs for loose balls. But now a dunk might end your career? Stop it, okay? The All-Star game itself, final score be like 187 to 183, like it's a summer league scrimmage sponsored by Vibes. No pride, no intensity, just cardio and brand protection. And the wildest part, the fans still care more than the players. Kids stay up late to watch their favorite stars jog around like it's a YMCA open room. You know a product. You know a product is cooked when the highlights are pre-game fits and the post-game quotes instead of the game. The NBA didn't. Baby, I'm trying to get my rant on, mama. Go get it. You got it. Before I rant on you. The NBA didn't ruin All-Star Weekend. The players did. Too rich, too comfortable, too scared to look bad. Until somebody brings shame back into competition, All-Star Weekend will stay exactly what it is. A participation trophy with shoes on. And just like Melo said, he grew up one of the days where, yeah, we're going to mess around for the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, it's game time. And that's when everybody gets serious. I know we like to put the blame on LeBron, and I mean, it's hard to, and it's not hard to at all, because he was supposed to take that mantle from Kobe when Kobe, was later in his career retired. Kobe was the one. I'm bringing this in intensity, and the fourth quarter come, we busting each other's ass. And that's all I got to say, man. That's my rant.
I
love it.
And to add, listen, first of all, great rant, Dot. And it was just announced that the Lakers' Jackson Hayes and the Spurs' Carter Bryant are going to be participants in the slam dunk contest. Those are 2 names so far.
I don't want to see no 6'10" person in the dunk contest unless it's Dwight Howard. Other than that, man, the JaVale McGee experiment was terrible. Jackson Hayes, he did a between the legs dunk last night against the Bulls, and now they put look, bro.
And that's exactly where it's coming from.
Aaron Gordon and Sean Kemp were the best, tallest 6'10" dunkers.
Aaron 6'8".
Yeah.
You feel me?
No,
like Sean was just a different.
Dwight Howard, cuz Dwight Howard.
That's why I said.
He was all right. To me.
Dude,
I'm with Doc. Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine had the best dunk contest when they went mano-a-mano. It's the best dunk contest of all time for me.
I was there.
Dwight Howard has had too many props.
I
suppose why.
To me, the best dunk of all time is when Aaron Gordon went over the Magic mascot. And his legs, he was like seated, but the legs didn't bend down. They were going straight. He went under his legs and still dunked. How did he do that? What magic did he perform to do that? It's the greatest dunk I've ever seen.
It is.
And you had guys like Blake Griffin, Amari Stoudemire also. So like those type of guys, I can watch in a dunk contest. But Jackson Hayes, he doesn't. Yeah. He's not. You feel me? He's not elusive and as elusive and nimble as those guys were. But we never know. He may surprise us.
The other thing, Carter Bryant, nobody even knows who he is, dude.
I do. I know who he is.
I mean, we know
no,
who
because
he is.
we follow the sport.
Spurs,
of course.
He never plays. Like, there's going to be celebrities, like, rappers and artists and actors and stuff, because, that it's, they all descend on All-Star Weekend, and rightly so. They're going to be like, man, who the hell's Carter Bryant? They're not going to know who he even is, dude. Carter, I mean, God bless the young fella, right? But Carter Bryant's not capturing the imagination of anybody. Jackson Hayes isn't anyway, I could go on and on and on. I agree with that. All-Star Weekend.
Matt McClung pulled out, so he won't be defending his championship.
So did Phillip Rivers for the first time in his life, saying no to the Buffalo Bills.
That was a good one, yes.
I can't take credit. Yes. That joke was on Twitter. I can't take credit, but it's one of my favorite jokes. They said Phillip Rivers pulled out for the first time in his life. Dude, I laughed for an hour after
That's a good one. That's a great one.
He's got 10 kids. He's got 10 kids. All right. I mean, God bless him, man, but he's got 10 kids. Okay. And he pulled out for the first time in his life. Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. All right. On that note, people, we are out. We will see you again on Monday. Got to thank everybody here. Dr. Phil McDonald, Dwight Walton, Brandon Armstrong, A.M. Pfeffer, Jason Arambulo behind the glass, and Kai Josephson as well. They rock. I am Rick Kamla. We are going to have Chris Broussard on the show on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you soon. This is Beyond the Surface.